Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. Say go so, the remix.
DMB, Tux Bites, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us in your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. But then it took a long fun eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. He was right at the bus station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so charmed. I felt this sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, a killing eye. I found me a beautiful girl.
Body me LP,
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a Coke bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk, she must be from a planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger. We look good together. Take your place in my heart with your beauty. I must say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. Your beauty shines and breeze at night. All I really want in my life. Oh yeah. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, killing tie. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl. What beautiful girl? Yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money. You seen her? Hot Ice. Have you seen her? LP. Have you seen her? I'm gonna go over the Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look.
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time, I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace several presents and gifts. Call me Santa Claus. I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me ass and kutcher, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'm a go-getter. Since I'm a go-getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it, beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing time. I found a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. How's everyone doing? Relax, okay? Let's have a good time. Okay, we have something to talk about today. Welcome back. I'm sorry, I miss all of you. Okay, if you can hear me loud and clear, please do let me know in the chat. I'm coming to the chat right away. Right, if you can hear me loud and clear, let me know. Do let me know. Let me check myself. Let's check. Make sure audio, visuals, everything is good. Right. Let's see. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. We're live. Shout out to everybody that came here early. I see one person, Wrench. Shout out to Wrench. But I see there are 5 other people in the chat. Welcome back. Yeah, let's talk today. Is a Q&A session, okay? Do me a favor. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to hit that like button. I want you to share and subscribe, okay? This is how we send out social signals to let everybody know that we're hanging out here. Today's conversation is going to be an interesting one. Okay, I prepared. I have lots and lots of things to talk about, but I'll rather engage you. Okay, if you want to engage me here, I'll rather engage you, to be honest with you. So, because I believe that's how we're going to learn the most. Okay, so with that being said, maybe about 15 to 30 minutes in, I will drop my link. I want to know what your thoughts are on this conversation. Okay, we're talking about sex. Speaking of talking about sex, they're not going to monetize this video because I'll be using the word sex a lot. Okay, so, and even not just today alone, when you're coming here, okay, if you know that you're learning a lot from this platform, bring $5. Bring $5. You know, it's just the right thing to do. Okay, to help me support the platform so I can afford coming back even more often. Okay, all right, it costs me money. It costs me even something that's worth more than money, time, energy, to come back here to put these shows together. So bring $5 at least. Super chat $5. You can send in it as Cashapp. I will shout you out. Okay, and then also it inspire other people to do the same thing. Okay, I have been quite reckless. I shied away from asking for it, but you know, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So I'm asking you now. Okay, and I already appreciate you for being here because you know it helps us go viral. Every minute you spend here is essentially signals for the algorithms. So but it helps us move a little bit faster when you are able to say, hey, I'm going to Man of Prestige. It goes live once a week, maybe twice a week. I'm taking, if I hear anything that's like, that's interesting, then super chat $5. It's just, it'd be highly appreciated. That's number one. Number two, you'll help me grow the platform a little bit faster. But even more so, a lot of these videos, because of the type of content that we cover, we have to talk about sex. I can't keep saying Kiriwa. I have audience here that don't know what Kiriwa is. So, and also the nature of mine, particular personal persona, I'm not a pidgin speaker, so I can't keep saying Kiriwa. It's sex. Sex is sex. Okay. So I'll say Kiriwa sometimes when it rolls off my mouth, but it's essentially sex. Okay. So, but every time I use that word, it increases the chances that the video will be demonetized. So, for example, in today's section, we're talking about overrated. I'm asexual. I don't like sex at all. This was I was watching Auntie B's rebroadcast earlier, and this was something that came up in there. With respect to this topic, and I'll tell you the background to why we're talking about. Shout out to Brother Patrick. I see you, sir. Good to see you, sir. I'll drop the link in a little bit so we can talk. We have a lot to talk about. Okay, I think a lot of the older folks are completely disconnected from the reality, the state of things when it comes to, when I say older folks, I mean anywhere. I'm 43 years old. I'm talking about anywhere from 40 and above. So I actually fall in that category. Okay. But more so anybody above 45, especially when we're getting to 55, there's a massive disconnection, and a lot of it has to do with language delivery. Okay. Shout out to Dr. Shola. Okay. I'll be pushing hard at him today. If he's watching, it's all love, no shots, I promise. Okay. But I'll be pushing hard at him, against him today. Shout out to Auntie B as well, But I'm pushing hard at everybody that's 40 and above. There's a disconnect, particularly in their very nature as sexual beings, and their capabilities of using their words to translate. That's number one. Number two is the other side of things. How it's being received. What you're saying, how is it being received? Sometimes you need to say something, you have good intentions, okay, but it's going to be received completely wrong, So the Cashapp name is Man of Prestige. Is it not on there? Let me see. Let me make sure it's on there. Oh yeah, it's rolling on the screen. Oh, is it not rolling on the screen? That's interesting. Oh yeah. Let me. I'll hide it in a little bit. Thank you so much. But it's literally Man of Prestige. If you search Man of Prestige, it will come up. $ Man of Prestige. Okay. Let me add that. Oh, it should. I think it is. Let me see here. Okay. Yeah. I think I think we edited it out. Let me see. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Cashapp. I don't know how that came out, but all right. So yeah, that's something you'll hear me talk more about. Sometimes I might even shut down the show completely if there's no super chat, because I simply can't afford it at some point. Okay. So just keep that at the back of your mind. Yeah, it's rolling on the screen now. It's just Man of Prestige. It should show up. Shout out to Sunshine. How you doing, Sunshine? Good to see you. From Africa. I love it. All right. So there's the other side of when you're trying to communicate. Just because you talk doesn't mean you're communicating. The older folks, 40 plus, in the mud today, we keep thinking when you talk you're communicating. No, you're not communicating. You're not necessarily communicating because you're talking. Okay? And just you being able to accuse other people of not listening is not good enough, especially if you're trying to play the role of the leader in that context. Okay? I see Auntie B. Auntie B, yo, we're all in the mud today. Every 40 plus in the mud today. We are terrible at communication. We think talking is communication. It is not. And it's everything linked to this topic about sex. Okay? Just sit down and talk about it, and suddenly, sex will be better. Say you want the wine mini. How? Like, how is that going to happen? Right? Dr. Shala saying things like, I forgot. I took some notes. So we'll be covering a lot of those things. Okay? Just because you talk about it doesn't mean it's going to be better. Okay? It's not good enough. I keep telling you, this is the only platform where we talk about seduction, attraction, and emotional intelligence. Okay? So I was a video that Dr. Shala did. I watched his. I stumble in and out, obviously, because of other things I have going on. I stumble in and out of videos and live sessions during the course of the week. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much. Let me see. In fact, let me make sure that I'm disconnected here so we don't get interrupted. There you go. Boom. Let me see something. Thank you so much for the donation, sir. All right, sir. All right, so here's the thing. We say okay, just talk about it. And the worst about this conversation is that talk about it before marriage. What? You're not capable. You don't know what the hell you're going into before marriage. That's every single one of us. This is not just because you've gone through premarital counseling. No, every single one of us, you're not capable. You don't know what you want to talk about. And especially if you claim, oh, I'm practicing celibacy, I am asexual, I am all of these different things. No. And to be, I stole that topic from your platform earlier when I was watching. A young lady that said she was asexual. You can see in the title, is cap. At best, that's cap. Okay. Now here's the thing. Okay, asexuals do exist. They do exist. Just so we know, they do exist. But it's not majority of human beings. Okay. It's literally still the reason why they have a name is because they are minority, particularly they are minority. Okay. Asexual means somebody that neither here nor there is, it's not a thing for them. Right? But you can't really be diagnosed or be labeled that unless obviously you've been put through the pressure. Right? If I ask you what kind of experience have you had that made you determine that you're asexual, that you could label yourself a whole name, asexual, right? What kind of experience have you had? If you can't answer that question, like, it's overrated, like, you're not asexual, you're just justifying BS. That's what you're doing. Asexuality is the lack of sexual attraction to others, or low or absent interest or desire in sexual activity, right? They do exist. But just because you've had bad sex doesn't mean you can label yourself asexual. That's not how that works. Okay? Majority of people that call themselves that name, they've just had bad experience, right? So naturally, what do? They cast their experience, they turn it into some kind of generalized statement or a one word like asexual, and they say, oh, I am. He said, Ola, so you're going to tell me what I am? No, I'm just going to tell you you're capping big time. What's your body count? How many people have you slept with? Right? That you were just sleeping there like a log of wood and you just knew that this is a punishment. I'm thinking of this as a duty, responsibility. In the same breath, in that same video, we have a bunch of men calling in and calling it a duty. It's a duty, just do it. Oh, is it making sense now why they call it asexual? Why somebody will feel the need to label themselves asexual? Because somebody had been training them, socializing them to think it's just duty in me. Let me give you full disclosure. I love sex. Okay. I love sex. I wish I could listen. I wish I'd been talker like Dr. Shala and make say it in pidgin and then like listen. All I can tell you is that full disclosure, I love sex. Not only that, I am a Scorpio. I was born on November 3rd. I don't know what that means. Really, in reality, I really don't know what that means. Okay, but one thing I know is that a lot of people they tend to align that together with this person must be sexual. This person must be right. So because I've heard that so many times in my adult life, it's a thing in my head too. And if you understand how all of this works, it all starts from the mind, right? If people run around and say everybody that's Scorpio, they are just sexual beings, you tend to carry that as an identity. It affects everything in a good way, right? You too, you want to show out and be a Scorpio, right? So listen, when we're talking about sex, I love sex, right? I love sex. Sex to me it has to be an experience, okay? When I do, when my wife and I, when we do quickies, it's a special day. That's special. That's like, we don't do it enough to the point that it's really special. It's really nice when we do it, right? But a lot of people have normalized quickie, 2 minutes quickie, and it's just supposed to be that way. That's why it eventually completely dies off, right? So the issue here is not a man. This is not a. In reality, we've turned it on social media to a gender war, thanks to Dr. Shola and other people like that. We've turned it to some kind of gender war. I understand him. I understand that he has to be. I'm not sure if he's intentional about that. He has to be polarized in order to get those views, to be entertaining. It's extremely entertaining. It's one of the most funniest human being I've known when it comes to these topics, right? It's comedy, right? Somebody did. But Pastor Shala is my party, right? But I couldn't call into his show too much. I couldn't. There's no way. I can't call into it. There are a couple of reasons, and I'll share with you the backstory a little bit here, so that we can make sure we do justice to this topic. All right. Let's see. Alima, hi Alima. Auntie B is up. So you actually need a diagnosis before you call you asexual. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't call myself asexual unless I've been run through some kind of assessment. I'm not sure if you can call it diagnosis, but I guess, yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't have somebody. I'm not going to take it from anybody to label themselves asexual without telling me what kind of assessment have they done, right? Who assessed the situation? What do you mean asexual? Oh, I'm just never interested. Why? Because you had sex with 3 people and you were not interested? No, that doesn't count. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, right? Most men love sex. Yeah, you could say that. I think most human beings love sex. Okay? I think getting to good sex is a different conversation from actually loving sex. Some people have concluded that they don't like sex because they've had bad experiences. Women tend to do that the most. A man, you're right, when it comes to socialization, it's like, because again, they just, they can climax very quickly. They just think, that's just another one. It says, the conquering spirit, the haunting spirit of a man. He's just, okay, that one didn't work out. That was kind of weird. He moves on to the next one, right? But when a woman, because of the process that goes into what it takes a typical woman to enjoy sex, if she has 3 bad experiences, she's going to naturally conclude that it's a bad idea. So let me go ahead and drop the link. We're 25 minutes in. Let me drop the link because I'd rather have this conversation as a conversation than a bunch of discombobulated, some validated generalizations that I feel like Dr. Shola made. I think, again, let me just say this. When you're doing this show like Dr. Shola and you're just talking, you're going to say some things that will rub people up the wrong way naturally. He's been doing it to men for a long time. He was pandering for such a long time to women. I don't think he was doing it intentionally. He was saying things from a place where he understood things. But I think he's starting to hear more and more stories. More men are speaking up about how they feel. Some of them, unfortunately, are generalizing and concluding, right, They're concluding what they think the issues are. Right? I'd rather you speak. I'd rather you just say how you feel. Yes, when you reject a man, it's stored in there as resentment. If you reject a man, first, second, third time, regardless of your legitimate reasons, which is something that Dr. Shola did not speak to in that video. Okay, but if you listen closely, there are moments where he mentioned, why a woman would not be interested. But the video, that particular video, that episode, 3 episodes ago, I think, was more so about holding women accountable. Right? And I think that's something that women generally struggle with when it comes to romance and relationships in general. Okay? Like how, especially if it's coming from a man, how dare you? See, when I talk here and I talk for 3 hours, there's no way I've not offended somebody. It's just literally impossible that I have not offended somebody. Okay? So I understand if somebody can take an offense, but he was generalizing heavily. I'm going to pin the link to the top as well. Okay? So that anybody who wants to come in can talk about it. There were a few callers that called into the show, and I want to address those callers. The first caller that called into that particular show, Dr. Shola, let me see. I put a note here. Actually, I said, be nice, Ola. Because after I heard something, I was like, I was talking to my wife about like, damn, if I go in the same way that will make most videos go viral, just go extreme polarized, I would just abuse everybody. It was all terrible. Okay? It was all terrible. I put a note on the side that said, be nice, Ola. So I'm going to be very, very nice. I just want to have the conversation. Okay? A lot of the conversation that I've seen around this, including the ones on Auntie B's platform that I saw earlier, everybody was talking about enhancements. Nobody talked about desire and the actual underlying interest in the first place. No one talked about seduction. Nobody talked about attraction. People were talking about enhancements. Okay? People were talking about dildo. Oh boy, dildo no go fix anything though if there's no desire. Let me see. Auntie B, did you want to show your face or no? Are you good? Did you want to show your face? Okay.
Yeah, I'm all right.
How are you, ma?
I'm very passionate about this subject.
Oh, got you. Oh,
Yesterday, I
got
was
you.
literally fighting people.
Oh, that was yesterday, right? Yes.
Can you
That
guys
was
hear me?
yesterday. I can hear you.
myself.
I can hear
Lady,
you.
Shang,
Oh, yes. I can
Ola,
hear
can
you.
you hear me?
Yes.
Everybody can see and hear me. Okay, I'm not hearing myself.
You want to go
I
back
don't
and
know
come
why I'm
in?
not hearing myself.
It's probably the audio.
I should hear myself now, Abby.
Yeah, she probably needs to go in and come in. Ola, use love making or career while YouTube will flag. Yes, that's why I said everybody pull out $5, super chat $5 or something, because they're probably gonna flag it anyway. Yeah. Let's see. Can you hear me now? Is it better?
Ola, can you hear me?
Yes.
You're hearing me?
Yes.
I don't know why I'm not hearing myself. Oh.
But I can hear your
So that
feedback.
means I can't hear you. Because I can't hear myself, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me at all. Can you see me? Can you see me?
You can see me, but you cannot hear me. Kilo
No,
Shele.
but what about you? You can't see me.
Okay, maybe I should use this other one.
Okay,
for
she
audio.
can't see me.
No, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, it's not gonna work because there's latency. I muted you just in case you hear me again.
It's not gonna work.
No.
Yeah,
Going on.
Auntie B, try to call back in again. All right, let's see. A quick sunshine say quicker should be exciting, almost forbidden. Yes, but if that's what you do normally, like like for example, one of the ladies that called in, there was a few ladies that called into Dr. Shola's show. That's what I'm reacting to that show, but I don't know if it's okay with it. I'm reacting to. Let me see. Most marriages. One of the ladies talked about Let me see if you can find it real quickly. Okay, we'll get back to it. It should be quickly, almost exciting. Yeah, because it depends on where you're coming from. Everything about this conversation depends on where you're coming from. You know, and to be try to come to through a laptop or another device. Yes, I could see you, I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me. And it looks like you couldn't see the proper screen too. Maybe the phone needs to be shut down and on again. Something like that. Maybe the browser. All right. At this point, I think he's doing it for the bread. Ain't no way that pastor is like that in real life. Yeah. He's very passionate when he's talking. I don't want to excuse him at all. Because let me tell you the backstory. Okay, let me tell you the backstory. Shout out to Beautiful Universe. Welcome to the platform. Hit that like button. Let's get more people in this conversation. Let's talk. When we started our platform, the lolaandola.com platform, lolaandola.com, we started lolaandola.com in August 2018, somewhere around that. That's when we launched it. That's when we published the book, Get My Marriage Back. And, I started to, and I think that might have been the time that I started to pay attention to all the other content creators online in our Nigerian space. I started to pay attention to them. So one of the platforms that I had stumbled to him a few times, but then I started to pay a little closer attention. That's Dr. Shola. So I called him. To the show, and it was like, you know how it's very, Karamasiki, right? It's very like, are you sure you're a man? Because he's at that point in time, his belief system was that all men were just terrible and they don't understand how relationships and romance and marriages work. His lens of the Nigerian men was basically terrible husbands at that time, and I feel like he was a lot of his audience at the time were women, all over the place, and the talking point was mostly about how these women are suffering and all this kind of stuff. Okay. So, and I called in and I said, and I understand because I know that it's a fact. Women do suffer, especially anyone coming from any traditional standpoint. Thank God about 2 African Americans called into Antibi's show yesterday. I heard them clearly to correct us. We keep generalizing, right? There's a lot of things we say. We just like it's only Nigerians that go through it. The Americans do the same thing. They think it's only them that go through these issues. And these are issues that are the way the stories are told are different from people to people, from platforms to platform, from culture to culture, but it's essentially the same thing. When they record the data, 1 out of 4 marriages are sexless marriages, right? 25%, 15 to 25% to be precise. That data is not Nigerians. It's everyone. I think it was America. The study was done in America. It's everyone, which is basically everyone. Okay, so we tend to we're trying to personalize it and we make it ours, especially if we're speaking from a place of pain. It's bad for if you're looking for actual solutions. It's bad. If you're looking to go viral on YouTube, it's perfect. All you have to do is pick a group of people and start abusing them online. It works like magic. Just tell all the men are terrible. They are just worse. They are scum of the earth. Just keep saying that. I swear. Just sit down there, a talking head, and just tell anybody that wants to listen that all men are terrible. Or let's switch it. All women of African descent, they smell from down there. That's all you have to say. You will go viral on YouTube. Allah. YouTube will not care if you use the word sex. They won't care if you use the effect of the polarized view will override all the different words we say we can't use. All the people that can relate with that pain they will start super chatting. $100, $200. It will go viral in no time. But you guys know me. I don't do that. I'm sorry. I can't do that. It's not who I am. I am not a comedian. I'm not entertaining like that. But we can talk about this. I can ask, I can do Q&As. Okay, that's why I opened it today. You can ask questions in the chat. You can ask questions. I have tons of questions. I have a lot of things I want to address as well. Okay, but no, I can't do that because again, I can't stop. But like, what about solutions? What about impressionable young minds listening, right? What about those kind of things? And that's why I've always pushed against generalization. And to be not, can you hear me now already? Can you hear me? Okay, all right.
I think it's my headphones. Those headphones they are not working.
Oh, no wonder.
Because now I took them off, I can hear you.
Are they from Apple? They're from Apple, right?
I don't even know where they are from.
Oh, okay.
I've had them for ages. I think they are broken now.
Got you.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm doing fine. I'm fantastic. I've been enjoying doing one live shows per week. I can rest.
You're doing only one?
I've been doing that for weeks. I do it on Sunday evenings only, but I released a ton of videos.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Okay. I just see videos. I didn't realize they are not live because you always put live on the thumbnail, so I assume they are all live.
No, there's no live on the thumbnails of the ones that are not live. There's no live on them. But we drop videos every day, so you might not have noticed that we're not present.
Okay.
Yeah. But Sunday evenings or anytime something is hot like this, I have to jump on it. So yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for addressing this. It's something that I'm very passionate about it. I don't know if you saw me yesterday. I got almost upset with some ladies, some Nigerian ladies who were coming on and obviously they were speaking from their own point of view, their experiences. Right. Mm-hmm. But the problem is they were trying to generalize it, and one of them particularly kept coming for me and saying, "Oh, it's overrated. Sex is overrated. It's overrated." I say, "Speak for yourself." Right. You can say safely, "For me." I think for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't say it is overrated because that's part of the problem.
Yes.
And I was basically coming from an angle of a Nigerian woman who grew up in Nigeria, and the way we're socialized, brought up with culture and religion, how our parents, Ola, this is real. You're not a woman, so you can't understand.
Mm-hmm. Most
of us grew up with the fear of, having intimacy with men. It's deep. And as a parent now, you understand that when with something that you ingrain on your children, every day you keep telling them, it grows. It's not a joke. Yeah. It got to a point that, so I started reflecting about it on it after the show yesterday. I was like, okay, if we were growing up as teenagers, young adults, our parents kept telling us, that we should basically hate, love making or having intimacy with men.
Right.
How do you expect that person who's heard that over and over and over again, they now get married, all of a sudden you want them to enjoy it?
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't work because there's something in our brains already that is already blocked from our parents.
From over time of the same thing.
Over time telling us that it's something that is dirty, it's something that you shouldn't do, you only do it to have children. It's not something that is meant to be enjoyed. Ola, I'm not going to kid you. As a young adult, when I started dating, I didn't like sex. I didn't. Right. I couldn't.
Because you had been told that it's...
because I've always been told that...
You have this fear coming into it.
Oh my goodness. You've been told that it's something that you shouldn't do, so you are dealing with it from one angle is the spiritual, is the religious angle, where you are feeling like, okay, I'm fornicating.
Right.
Fornicating.
Right.
And there's guilt coming from that. And then you're also dealing with it from the trauma, your parents, especially your mom, telling you that, you shouldn't do this, it's wrong, why should you do it? The only reason why God allows you or wants you to do it for you to have children.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it does something to your psyche, honestly.
I agree 100%, right? Which is, thank God, about 2 African American women called into your show.
Yes.
And they talked, one of them talked about the Bible Belt from the deep, deep South.
Yes.
Right? And we tend to do this to ourselves. They do it to themselves too. They think the issues that we go through, we think any small society think the issues that they go through is just them going
It's
through
just
it.
yes. It's
And
just
then they will start doing what Dr. Shola did, comparing to the other side.
okay. So let me talk about this Dr. Shola's angle. Ola.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of. I know we had this discussion. I told you we had this discussion on Obodo Farm,
Right.
the US group. A lot of them, or a lot of us actually at the moment not happy with Dr. Shola. It's not because it was kind of bashing us.
Mm-hmm.
There are two things in it.
Mm.
I know he's been very hard on the men. I understand that.
For
And I
years.
also heard you saying that it's like he's wearing the shoe. I think he doesn't know how to balance things. So it's either it's for you or against you. There's no balance.
And to be honest, and to be, we are content creators, and to be. It's when you face one side squarely, because even when auntie called it, it's like what auntie was saying, some men, it's like, what about the ones that are doing? And he's right about that, that what about, we're talking about the men that are trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But my issue with his overall show is not the picking one side. It's the fact that he never got to the root cause of this issue.
Right.
It's just the only thing anyone can take away from the show is, let me point fingers at the other side or myself.
Yes. So the first thing in the first video was, I had a problem with Dr. Shola saying that you should have sex with your husband anytime, any day, even when you are sick. And so a woman was complaining that she's fatigued, she's tired.
Right.
Because the husband always wants to have, make love to her. Even when she's sick, she just had CS. She was on admission. The man sneaked into the hotel.
Let me read it to you. Let me read it. I have it. So you can make sure you capture it properly. The person says, "Hello, Dr. Shola, I'm Kenyan. Been following you. My own problem is that my husband is a sex addict. He will have sex with me a few times every day. It doesn't matter if I'm sick, on my period, just giving birth, or getting tired from traveling. The guy had sex with me in the ward while I was sick, 6 days after giving birth through CS. Last year, I got COVID. He used to sneak into my isolation room to have sex. I guess now I am tired of his strength, and I'm not sure how to handle it." Dr. Shola said, "You're lucky. You want to mess up your own marriage. You want the man to go out and get it."
Oh my God. When I heard that you are lucky, I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, I try, because I try to, me, I try to give people benefit, all types of benefit of the doubt.
No, that was completely off. No.
I tried. I look at my wife. My wife has been laughing for past 2 days.
How can you be lucky? This guy obviously has issues. You can't be telling her that it's okay. And then she's like going on and on about how, you want to drive him outside. How can you be asking a man if sex is food? Yeah, it's food. Yeah. Then it's like comparing to how he himself, his wife just had a baby and he wanted it one day. No. So my thing is that when we're discussing it, this is what I said, and this is my standpoint. There's a difference between humans and animals. And the basic difference between us as humans and animals is the ability to have self-control and reasoning.
Yes.
So the difference between why a goat, a he-goat will sleep with the mother is because they are animals. But we are human beings. If you don't exercise self-control, discipline, and reasoning, then there's no difference between us and animals.
So to be fair, he was talking about this, weaponizing it. Okay, that's what he was talking about.
No, he was addressing that Kenyan woman who said she's married to a sex addict. There's a difference. It's not weaponizing it. Allow. Don't change the topic.
No. Wait. I need to rule. I didn't agree with him.
I know you didn't, but no, he wasn't talking about weaponizing it. The standpoint, I watched the video from the beginning, was addressing that woman who said that even when she's sick, that the man always wants to have sex with her several times a day, and he doesn't see anything wrong in that.
Everything is wrong with that. Everything with what I just read to you, everything is wrong with it. There is no, let me tell you something. all my babies were CS. Okay, all of them. They told us that we had to wait 6 weeks every single time. My wife could not wait. She couldn't wait those for every single time. She couldn't wait all 6 weeks because she wanted some. You see what I'm saying? So for me as a man, for me now to get online and tell you that no, because it's duty, it's responsibility, it's a marriage. You know what you subscribe to. If you didn't know that you were going to do this, don't get married. These are completely irrelevant stuff. They're not relevant to the case in point that every time this woman is sick. Okay, let's bring it down to the actual main issue. She has no desire or interest. Why would you want to have sex with her? I don't care if she's your wife.
She's worn out. There's no excitement in it anymore.
Why won't you, as a man, want to dig in a little deeper and find out why your wife does not have desire and interest first?
You see, some people actually, let me even go further and tell you that people like Bingpe. Yeah.
Shout out to Bingpe.
Bingpe actually said that is abuse, and I agree. It is. Where she cannot say no. You are sneaking into hospitals. You are on. Okay, if you are sick, as much as you are a man, right, Ola?
Yes,
I heard you said at the beginning of the show that you like Kerewa. When you are sick, when you are really sick, can you carry one when you are sick?
Yes. This is the part that's strange to women. They said it in the show, right? One guy said his bowler stands off even when he's sick, and he would tell his woman that, is he your sick? Right?
No, that's not really sick. He's not sick. If you are really sick, even if bowler stands up, you don't have the energy for it.
So it depends. So sick depend on sick now.
Exactly.
I have temperature. I'm on the, I have temperature a few days.
I'm talking about sick that they have to put you on hospital admission.
Let me spell it out. This is why this is men of prestige. Let me spell it out, Auntie B. Okay. I'm not admission, but I had fever consistently for the past 6-7 days. Towards the end of the last 7 days, right? I'm still sick. My wife is a germophobia. She's germophobic, right? So she doesn't want to catch anything. Okay. Towards that last 3 days, I'm feel better already. Much already medicine, right?
Exactly.
I don't mind Kerewa. That's what I want you to understand. Okay, but I also need to understand, like you said earlier, some self-control is okay. If your wife is germophobic, she doesn't want to catch stuff, she doesn't want to fall sick too. You should heal all the way. Why won't we as men say, okay, that makes sense? The only reason I can see is that Dr. Shola was on a show, and this is about generalization, and he's addressing one thing at a time. That's the only thing. But in real life, you will need to be a little bit more understanding than no.
The funny thing is that he keeps saying that he likes it, and I'm looking at him and saying, Uncle.
It doesn't like it as much as I do, because
even if he likes it, let's check back that Dr. Sholari really likes sex, like you say he does. That's all right with a man. He's a healthy man.
He's a human being.
Right? It's okay. But I'm looking at genetics here, and I'm looking at what they call it, biology. That's what I'm looking at. Everybody knows that. It's only a few exceptions that you see a man that is 50, 60, that is as active as a young man.
Dr. Shola, I don't know his personal. I don't know the authenticity of what he's saying. But it's a show, and to be is talking is
a show. Is he an artist? Is he doing drama?
No, what I mean is that just not even the fact that it's a show. If I can talk, doesn't mean I can perform.
Yeah, because we all know it now. We all know
this is not him. Just in real life, if I can talk, doesn't mean I can perform.
Use yourself as an example. You are still a very young man. You are in your 40s. You are not 50 yet, Abi.
Benny.
Now compare yourself now. I don't know when you got married. When you were in your 20s and now that you're in your 40s, would you say you are the same biologically when it comes to having sex?
My knees are not the same. When it comes to sex, it's better.
No, I'm talking about the energy.
Energy. It's better. That's why we can. It's better. I can't compare it. It's two different things. Strength.
Yeah.
It's literally because I said in the beginning, I said it's an experience for me now, as opposed to
Okay, it's not a good comparison because in
yeah,
your
it's
20s you
not a
were
good
not
compare
married.
because
You didn't have a
again
wife.
is because that's why I said we didn't do justice to the topic.
Yes.
A lot of things about sex is mental. It's not
Yes.
stuff I can say I'm duty responsibility. Let's do it. It's
Yes.
mental. When you are in the comfortable place, when you are over 40, there's certain things you don't worry about. There's certain things you worry about. There's certain things you've learned. There's certain skill set. It's easier for you, for an average person in a profession, to get a new job because they have experience when they're in their
Yes.
40s, as
Yes.
opposed to a person who's in their 20s looking for their entry level job.
It's true.
Like these things are not comparable, right? Sex is not an act, it's an experience. It starts from the mind. So we can't tell people to just do it just because they want to just do it. That's not how it
I can see
works.
that you are here. Okay, I shared it in the US group so that all of you, because I know you are very passionate about this subject, so that you can come in. Because I really
Bio,
wanted to talk about it. The
Bio
fact
just
is
hit
that-
it on the head. He just hit it. You cannot treat symptoms while ignoring the root causes. You can't tell people just go on. Like, for example, he did a show this afternoon. I didn't watch the whole thing. He said, I initiated sex once. I was like, good for that woman. But that still doesn't address the in fact, Auntie B, we in the next few weeks, we're stopping our 1 hour coaching program. We're going to stop it. We're releasing a new program that's going to be 12-month engagement. You cannot fix these issues with one session of counseling or one thing you heard from a show. So you've initiated sex one night. What about that feeling, that thing that caused you to stop in all those years? That's still there. You initiated one night. That thing is going to creep back into your life and even be worse. Now you will resent each other. We can't treat these issues in one session like any other thing. These are habits.
So this is why I got from, when he was addressing the very first woman who said that the husband always wants to have sex. Yeah.
Right.
What I got from that is that she has no right to say no.
Yeah,
That
it's
she
not
should-
right is not relevant.
That she should submit all the time, that she should be grateful that her husband always wants to have sex multiple times a day. I'm thinking, is he jobless? Does he not have a job? If
Let-
he's
let-
busy, where would he even have the time to be having sex several times a day in the first place?
Exactly. Like it's not like in real life, in a fantasy world,
Yes.
right?
In real
But-
life,
but-
oh,
but-
not
but
on
in real-
holiday, not honeymoon, no.
Right,
Real life,
real
when you
life-
have children, you
real
have
life-
commitments, you have jobs.
Exactly. Real life versus fantasy. So in our dream, right? In our head, when you dream at night, you can dream a whole 10 years in one night because it's not real life, right? But when you come to real life, there's something called the time constraint. You only have so much time in a day. So where is this time coming from? I'm confused.
I don't know where you have that time. But I just felt like he didn't address, as a counselor, he didn't address, she was obviously not happy. She didn't say she doesn't like it. She's just saying it's too much. There's just no break. And he's taking the fun out of it. It's all about him. I feel, what I'm hearing from the woman, because sometimes when someone is speaking, you need to take into consideration what they are not saying.
Yeah.
You need to
exactly.
listen. And that comes from listening. When you are listening critically, when somebody is speaking, you will hear what they are not saying.
Listen to this one, Auntie B. Because I took some scripts because I didn't want to I'm not sure if he's happy with that. I can't read Dr. Shala too much, but I took some script from his show. Caller number seven from that particular episode, the one where I was wearing the green t-shirt. That person says, why do women weaponize sex? It's how I see this. A lot of women, you will hold your husband down and he start begging you to have sex with you, which is very, very wrong. Again, we're talking about right and wrong again now. You hear?
Yes.
Once you get married to someone, you already know what your duty is. You hear duty, buzzwords. Now you are the only one deciding when sex happens. But when you want him to respond immediately. The issue is that she doesn't want you. We're forgetting that part. But anyway, let's continue. That is a way of taking control as a woman. You're not supposed to be doing that. Again, we're assuming that it's intentional. Or that issue is the root cause. There's something going on underneath. He continues, you are supposed to allow anytime he wants it. Allow anytime he wants it. Never mind desire. Never mind interest. Never mind that I actually want to do the kerewa with you. Me, I don't want to do kerewa with you if you don't want to do it with me. Never mind that. Oh no, the blue balls is so thick blue that I don't care if you want it or not. Just give it to me.
So
Okay.
Ola,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, let me say this. Bimpe, I can see you are here.
Big boy
So
here, yeah.
kerewa is different for men and women. Okay?
Fact.
A man can have kerewa with anything and any time, any day, any men don't need emotions to have kerewa. But for a woman it's different. At least for most women, right? For the average woman, kerewa for us is mental. It starts with your mind.
Right.
When your mind is not ready, your body will resist that kerewa. That's the truth.
Yeah.
So, and that's why women, we talk about affection a lot. And I keep saying it on my show that if you want to have sex with your wife tonight, it's not when we come in. I've not spoken to you for 2 days. Maybe we have some kind of, issues going on or, disagreement. And then in the night, you want to touch me. No, for a woman, it doesn't work like that. But for men, they don't care. You can do that.
That's one aspect of R&B. But let me assume that because men too, we tend to be oblivious of what's going on because we also be busy with life. Like I said, how would you have time for 3 times a day, right? You're going to work and other stuff, right?
That person, obviously, the husband doesn't have work.
Exactly. So I see you, brother B. I'm coming to you right away. So you see, so you have all these things going on. So that's one aspect of it. What about the aspect? Let's say completely I'm surprised.
Okay.
Right.
The weaponizing part of it.
Let's say completely I'm surprised. This is a feeling. They forget that this is your feelings that is being weaponized. There's a difference between a woman is weaponizing it or you feel that she's weaponizing it. There's 2 different things.
Yes.
Those are 2 different things. And when a woman hears that you're weaponizing it, she feels like you just attacked her. So she needs to defend herself because clearly she's not trying to weaponize, right? And then there's also the underlying issue that the woman is going to, which is what you're alluding to, right?
Yes.
That she may not be able to express properly, right? And now you have a bunch of miscommunication there, and everybody is just in array all over the place, just nasty, messy.
Yes, the weaponizing always comes in for a lot of women when they feel very helpless and they are not in tune or there's some issues on ground. So they use it. Women do weaponize kerewa. That's true.
So when you say weaponize kerewa, can you explain what that looks like in real life?
Okay, so it's a way of it's like sending a message. It's like sending a message to the man that, you know what, if this is not resolved, then you can't have you can't have my body. You can't touch me.
So you're saying there are other issues before you decided to not want to do kerewa.
There's always an issue when a woman is saying she's weaponizing it. There's always
so let me
Ola,
so this is what I was saying. If you're 40 plus, we're all in the mud today because this is our issues here, right? And it's understandable, right? If you say somebody is weaponizing something, when the US weaponizes something, it's intentional. We're taking over your territory. We're destroying you because we want your resources. That's what the word weaponizes means. Like I want your stuff. I want it to become mine.
No, it's not. It's not. You are taking it out of context now, Ola. Put it in context when we are talking about love making. When we say a woman is weaponizing kerewa or love making, the context is that I'm withholding it deliberately from you. Not because I don't want it. Because trust me, sometimes a woman might even want it.
So you want it.
Yes.
So you want it, but you're withholding. That also means I'm getting somewhere. That also means you're withholding sex from yourself. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, good.
That's why
as long as we're clear on that.
Yes, because it's because I have a mission. I have an agenda. I'm sending a message to you. So even though I want it, I will hold myself just so that you get the message I'm trying to send to you, Kwe. That thing you did, I didn't like it.
So how would you do that for 5 to 6 months? Let's because one of the callers called in. One of the callers called. See, we're saying 1 out of 4 marriages are in sex marriages.
Do it for 6 months. That one is witchcraft. No.
So let's talk about again. Once my wife and I believes, and Islam in general believes this. If you're past 3 months, no kerewa, the marriage simply doesn't exist anymore. You don't have to
in
go to
Islam.
divorce. Yeah. If it's past 3 months, the marriage simply does not exist anymore.
Really?
Yes. So we believe this. We practice this here. We've never had to go close to that. But I'm just saying, what's the point? It's pointless. But a lot of people, it's not that they're counting. It's just that 5-6 months has gone past, and everybody's living like roommates. There was a caller that called in
let me
that
tell you
said that.
something. If it's going on to 6 months, somebody is definitely having Kerewa somewhere else.
You cannot. It's still an assumption. It's possible.
It's usually the case.
Okay, so that woman, are you saying the woman who is withholding sex,
If she's
right,
withholding
is always having sex?
She's having it somewhere, or she's having an emotional. She's having emotional.
Emotional is, if we're going to get close to generalization at all, I will agree with you that it's always some kind of emotional engagement somewhere.
Yes, because for us women, a lot of women don't consider emotional cheating as cheating. Do you understand? But it is. We know it is.
Would you do it in front of him?
Yes, but the thing is that emotionally, when you are out of tune with one person, and if it's lingering like that for 6 months, like you said, it means that you are talking to someone else. Someone else is calling you, and you are giggling, and you are laughing, and you are, you're getting your emotional needs from somewhere else. Except you want to tell me is those cases where the person is
before we move too far, we were talking about weaponizing.
Yes.
Right? A person that for some weird reason they've been married for 40 years. Now these days they are living more like roommates. 5-6 months. Kojalo. In fact, Dr. Salah said it. like that. So here my issue. In my opinion, I try to get to a solution, right? I think if when a man is thinking in the mindset, if he's thinking of it as weaponizing, right? The only choice he has is to see you as a wicked person. When we're talking about past 4, 5, 6 months, the only choice he has is to see you as you're just being wicked. And it's not the easiest thing for him to leave that marriage, because it's easy to say, why you just leave the marriage? No, it's not that easy to leave a marriage because children are involved.
Can you stay 6 months? Can you stay 6 months without sex, without Kerewa?
No, we're talking about the weaponizer. Let's talk about the weaponizer.
I'm just asking you now that I
because it's you that said it's true that women weaponize it. Me, I have to defend you now, but you say it's true.
No, don't defend us. So women do. We weaponize it. We do.
So let's get back to it. Let's get down to it, right? If women weaponize it, can you weaponize for 5 to 6 months? Let me ask you, Auntie B.
No, personally, no, I can't because I like Kerewa too much.
So it will mean that you have been enjoying at least some kind of fantasy about Kerewa with somebody else in your head.
I don't hold grudges that much. I don't know how to hold grudges. My heart is very soft. So even if I hold grudges, even if I weaponize, the highest I can do is maybe, I don't know. What's the highest I've ever done? Have I ever done it? I don't know, but it's not long. It won't be long.
You made a good point that context matters, right? Which is, let's talk about weaponizing it in this context. And I think it's important for women to know that men particularly feel like you are weaponizing it when you're doing that. When it's going past 2 weeks, it starts to feel like, why are you just being... We don't wait till 6 months before we feel wicked, that you're wicked. We start to feel like you're being wicked at 2 weeks.
Ala, the young lady that said that she was asexual, I saw her in your comment section earlier on.
Okay. I don't remember who that person was. I just took the point.
Yeah, she was here earlier on. Her name is her YouTube name is Luxtry. Anyway, Bio is here. I can see him smiling because he's very passionate about this subject.
Brother Bio,
will pass anything as you see. So
my God, I'm fine now.
He left being a reverend father because of Kerewa.
I'm not going to use last few minutes. And Asha will not disband me.
Asha will Bio.
Wow. So no report to person who Asha will disband in case they did different. Anyway.
Oh, got you.
Yes. I want to say something. First of all, let me just say what Auntie B, let me start from the back going to the front. You know, what Auntie B just said, there's so much sense in it. But I think we are using the wrong word, weaponizing. Okay? So what Auntie B, the reason why I'm saying all this is not for us here. You know, we can understand ourselves for our viewers out there.
The viewers.
Everybody cannot assimilate at the same level. So if you look at what Auntie B is trying to say, she's not trying to say she's promoting weaponizing it or weaponizing it there.
Right.
Yeah. What she's saying is that Kerewa could be a way for a woman to register her unhappiness
Yes.
in a marriage.
Yes.
Okay? Just the same way, food can be a way for a woman to register her unhappiness. Example, yes. Do you think it's all marriages that you come home and meet a very good meal? Sometimes you might come home. If you are sensible enough, you should know that your wife is not really happy, because normally, if she's happy, the way she's frying meat today, everywhere they sent, you say, honey, today they ought to. Example, right? So, this same thing. So, what Auntie B is saying is that Kerewa, as a man, a sensible man, once you see that, know that there's an issue. So that issue should be addressed.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. But but if you keep using the word weaponize, you disconnect that man from being there, because you are being wicked. Why would you want to weaponize that?
That issue have to be addressed. So now what you should do, because I don't know, we all men are not the same. But for me, I cannot carry one somebody that is not happy, that is not feeling me.
Until you have blue balls for straight 5-6 months, then you'll be willing to take it from anywhere.
No, some people like that emotional connection.
No, we all do now. That's the point.
Go to shower and flush
You
it
want
out.
soapy? You would rather soapy?
I'm not joking. I would rather go and flush it out.
That's one of, see, let me say this before you continue, Rabio.
Okay.
Dr. Shola, everything he said in that video, the reason why they resonate and they are creating this conversation is because they are truth. Is the delivery we are talking about for the most part.
That's where I'm coming to now. We are coming
for the guy whoever take two. Pretty sure there are a lot of opinions held by Obodonyi, but men are perceived that other people may not agree. There seems to be subtle personal digs to what Dr. Shala.
No, there's nothing personal. He's a lovable person. We love him so much.
Our friend. You don't know he's been our friend. We're discussing the topic. Don't take it that way. Take two.
No, the issue there is not having to do with.
He was sorry. Before you continue, sorry for cutting. He was saying a lot of truth. But what we consider truth, the reason why somebody said comedian is just a comedian. No, comedians, the reason why we laugh at their joke, there's truth in it, right? But there's delivery that makes you laugh. There's delivery that's designed for solutions. There's delivery that young, impressionable minds or people that don't know how to critically think will take wrongfully, or they will perform temporary solutions that won't last long. That's why we're having the conversation. Continue, brother.
Okay, so Bio was saying that he has to have the emotional connection before he can make love to his woman.
I have to. Yeah. And most men have to. It's just that if they are starved, when you are hungry, you remember that for you to eat food, you like to also earn it. But when you are starved, you won't mind to steal. You will steal it if you have to. You know, if you are starved, the same thing that's going on in lower economy societies, right? Continue, sir.
Yeah. So for me, my brother, is this, when I'm carrying wine somebody that I know that the carry wine is not from the person's heart, I feel like I'm in a criminal activity. So because I don't have that tendency in me, therefore, I would not even proceed.
You will lose interest. Yeah, you will not be at your optimal performance.
Yes, now. And it will bring my rating down because I'm not giving it, because I always say it, just like you said in the beginning, it's more of an emotional thing. That's why you will see.
Mine is even more selfish. I didn't feel like I'm in a criminal. I will not enjoy it.
That's what I'm saying. It's a criminal act.
I will not enjoy it.
It's like you are hungry, you want to steal food. So you're not happy. So you're doing it. So with that being said, at least we have a general understanding of that one. Then coming to the main show that brought that this topic, the case study. When you're doing a show, this is a lesson to my very good brother, Dr. Shola. You see, we cannot know it all, but the truth of the matter is that when you are coming to talk on a topic, make sure you analyze the case study. The case study that you brought in did not actually match what the insights you wanted your viewers to see. Yeah. So what am I trying to say here? That case study of the lady in Kenya was a very bad one for that topic.
Yes, yes.
Because when you read the facts, just as our brother here has read, the facts are something that's very bad.
In the word.
woman is
And she
saying-
doesn't want to. Listen, I want to. If you want to do it in the word, listen, it's exciting. If you want to do it in the word with me, like let's say you are saying, say, my husband come here, pull me to the word. There's somebody next door. That's exciting as shit. I don't mind, right? But she doesn't want to.
Yes.
She didn't like the idea.
And two, I just wanted to make sure that his delivering was not trying to say a man's own your body. You know what I'm trying to say? Because sometimes people don't want to say statements because they know the grievancy. But that delivery in that instance is like trying to say, I own you. But one thing you should know, even what you own, for instance, your car, you don't drive it anyhow.
You don't abuse it now.
You don't abuse it now. Even
and another part of it, Bio, that being paid here, another part of it that women were not happy with was the fact that Dr. Shola kept comparing us to African American women.
So let me explain that comparison
and
thing.
He said, he said, oh, stop eating pounded yam, go and lose weight. Even African American women, when they are in their 60s, they still package well. But you Nigerian women, you'll be this, you'll be that, you'll be big. You don't know how to experiment in the bedroom. That comparison is no, we don't like it.
Comparisons in general, when it comes to emotional matters, does not fix any problem. What it does is that it shuts down the people that you are particularly trying to talk to. You might have good intentions, right? But you shut them down, you make them feel less than, and when you don't feel adequate, when your self-esteem starts to be questioned, your self-worth starts to be questioned, you're not, because again, remember it starts from the brain. You're not even excited, and even if you are excited to do something, it will be short lifespan because you feel like you were manipulated into it. Eventually, because they didn't really go all the way to build something,
it's not all
a
African
proper
American
foundation.
women that are experimenting and they're like that. Like the woman that called into the show said,
It's
she didn't
generalization.
even experiment. She's from the South. She said she grew up with Bible believing mothers, and sex was not even something that they discussed, or it was not something that So, but I don't know. I'm beginning to suspect maybe, I don't know if he dated an American woman, because it's not the first time. He said it many times. Go and say African
somebody that
America.
lived in
Go and say
America.
African
Auntie B,
America.
why are you talking like this now?
It's
No,
it's
I
the-
was like this.
it's
I
the-
was like this.
No, Dr. Sola is telling on himself a little bit. It's okay.
No, what I mean is, how will you say he had not dated an American? Of course, we all be American now. He carry wife come from Nigeria.
He married now. By the time you come America, he don't marry now.
The biography was years later. He went to bring the person. So we,
But he was married. He was married before he came.
Okay.
No, in fact, there was one moment during the show that he kept. This is why I'm dragging all of us 40 plus in the mud. He kept saying, "Yes, because I've seen African American," and people in the chat were like, "You see means you are dating, Baba. You don't know. Say see can mean you are dating," and then he attacked them back when they say, "You see, you're supposed to be a pastor." I was like, "Baba, you need to understand language, If you say you are seeing Percy." In this context, in this conversation,
I think one day we had the full story of this African American before.
This African American that carried Dr. Shola Trabaye, who will still find out the story one. Then go tell us by himself what happened.
So yeah, but I have a question, please. Let me ask you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Is it legal for a wife it's going to give us insight on this topic, for a wife to claim that she's been abused in terms of arrow? I don't want to use the word. You know what I mean?
You can use it. They will demonetize this video already.
Based on
arrow. Just say grape. Just say the fruit. Grape.
Can a woman claim grape against his legal wife, a legal husband? Sorry to say.
Yeah, of course.
I hear so.
Of course. And it can be real too. In
the abroad, I hear you can but not in Africa.
Yes, you can.
The reason I'm asking this question is because when we treat matters like this, both we are all in the Obodo Yibo, anyhow you look at it, and most of our topics are more surrounded with people around the Obodo Yibo. So I want to also believe that Pastor Shola, those people he counsels a lot, and all that people he's talking with, they are all mostly within Obodo Yibo. So
Right. Most likely. Yeah.
So definitely, it will be something of interest to him to indicate to his audience the legal implications sometimes, even though people don't do it. So what am I trying to say? In that case of that Kenyan woman that he read, a good lawyer can take that and claim a case of rape.
Right. The only thing that man has against her is that she still wants a marriage. She still wants to do things the right way, right?
Okay.
So she's but if he gets into a space where things are that bad, yes, he can build it. They can use that to build a case against him. And he would deserve it if he doesn't know the difference between I'm making love to my wife and I must do it 3 times a day by force. That's
yes. And I also want to just add this for our ladies out there, please. They say marriage is full of sacrifice. Relationship is sacrifice. So, for instance, I wasn't even planning to come online. I made sacrifice because my brother is here, my senior sister is here. You understand? So, relationship is sacrifice. What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say?
That shall finish.
Yeah. In marriage, women should also try to also sacrifice sometimes. Why I'm saying this is because, for instance, when I was married to an African American, before now. I'm a divorcee, so there's nothing to hide there. So now there are some times that I come from work that I'll be tired. My woman is in the mood, right? So I try to please her. Do you understand? I'm enjoying it. By the way, take note.
But you know what to do.
But no, I want to do, but I not like do long.
He's tired. Yeah.
But since I can, I will just go ahead and try to make her happy. Do you understand? Because there's an understanding. All right. Now, I'm not saying it's all the time. There are still instances where I will just say, "Oh, babe, it's okay. I'm not." She will be like, "Okay," But like I say, every kerewa has a trade. You have to draw a map in your room about kerewa trades. For instance, if today one was hot, just spike it high. If tomorrow was just small, just leave it there like that. For instance, next week.
Where did you go? Come back. Come back.
But so
no. Okay, finish that point, Bill. I want to say something about what you just said now.
Okay, so my point here is that kerewa in marriage cannot consistently be at the same level.
Okay,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Right?
Do you understand?
That's life. That's just life.
Yeah. So what we do sometimes, like me and my ex-wife, sometimes if we want to really do good kerewa, I will buy tickets. We'll fly out to Tennessee.
You make it an experience.
We'll prepare well. When we get to the hotel, I will put gogoro for table.
Yes.
This one we know we are not driving. We just came up.
There's no life stress. Everything is set.
We'll go and eat seafood. Go and watch some show. When we come back, the hotel they go yellow and hot. You understand? Don't get the sheets.
When I go check the hotel that day.
Auntie B, Rabio, stop. Okay. Please. I was told that our likes are low. Please get the likes up. Thank you. Hit that like button.
Guys, please this is a very interesting conversation. We need this conversation.
And I want to say thank you to Auntie B for the £20 super chat. Thank you so much, my sister.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry.
Thank you to Brother Patrick for the $10 donation to Cashapp earlier. Thank you so much.
Guys, please give Allah. Allah is trying. Please give him super chat. Let me tell you something.
Support.
See, let me tell you something, Bio, about what you said now.
Right.
For women, it's not like women are expecting the kerewa or the lovemaking to be epic all the time. This is what you guys don't understand about women. Women, we're not looking for somebody that is doing it for an actor. Like Pastor Kingsley always say, all these things that you could watch, these people are actors. And sometimes it's not one straight one. No, they go join. That's not what we are looking for.
Right.
At least most women, the average woman, Nigerian woman, is not looking for that. What is more important to women than even the action itself is how connected you are emotionally. It is that connection. Affection is what is more important to us. Even if you be like Churchill, where it be 40 seconds according to Tonto Dike.
Wow.
Even if you be 40 seconds, I don't care. There's somewhere, you see, Kerewa is good. Like I said, I'm not ashamed to say that, okay, love making, very important, beautiful, you've had it good. Oh, orgasm is the best thing in this world, right? But there's something that touches a woman's heart more than orgasm and making love. It is affection.
Affection
Is the air that will breathe.
Auntie B, what does affection look like to you as a
affection is
woman?
The fact that I'm frowning and I'm not telling you, saying, what's up, babe? I'm not saying anything, but you know that something is wrong. Affection is coming into the house, giving me a hug, giving me a kiss. Affection is sending me a text during the day. How's your day going? I'm thinking about you. See, if I see that kind of text during the day, babe, oh, hey, babe, you're right. I'm thinking about you. I can't wait to get home. See, I'm ready. All my body is ready. It will just send some hormone to my brain that even if you come home and you are now tired and for some reason maybe you watch television or you know, me, I will take the initiative because I'm already prepared. Affection is so important to a woman. Romance is so important to a woman. You guys have no idea. The way you can consistently get the love that you want, the kerewa that you want from a woman is for you to be affectionate. Unfortunately, a lot of Nigerian men are not affectionate.
Nigerian men are not affectionate. It's generalized.
Nigerian men. I said a lot. Money a lot.
You know, I be the generalizer police now.
I know the generalizer police. Money a lot. Beautiful universe. My comment section. She's already said it. I belong to a forum with some ladies, and majority of the ladies in that forum complain that their husband's sexual habits. They don't romance.
Right.
No romance. No play.
Let me speak. Let me speak to this real quickly. Let me speak to this really quickly, Auntie B. Sherry, what you just said is because you're coming from the angle of a person that was not that's experienced men in general that don't express affection in that way. So it makes sense that you crave more of it. I get. Some of these men, especially the men that are the loudest about these topics, they're generally this type of men that are the loudest, that they talk about this. They are very romantic. They will call them hopeless romantic men, right? And they've been doing that and it no work for them. So there's a point where they get to, maybe they haven't taken the time to study their woman. That's why I asked you personally, say, what does affection look like to you? They haven't taken the time.
So, sorry, let me interject here.
No problem.
Affection means different things to different women, right?
Yes.
So some women, affection might be when you come home, rubbing my feet. Like Brad Patrick will always tell us that.
Thank you so much, Abby. Thank you so much. Go ahead,
the wife has gone to do 10-hour shift. When she comes back, he's rubbing her feet. That's affection. For some women, affection might be fixing dinner. Because I've gone to work, I'm tired. You came home before me and you fixed dinner for me. That can do it for. So it's for you to know the love language of your woman.
Yes.
And then you treat them according to what is important to them. For some women, affection is money. Give them gifts, money, whatever. So the love language of the woman.
For everyone listening, these are the underlying issues. So that's what we're talking about. These are the reasons. You can't fix these issues with dildo and vibrator.
You can't be telling us how we can fix the issues, Ola. Please leave the issue of dildo and vibrator alone.
No. Don't take me out of context. Hold on one second. Don't take me out of context.
Some people, dildo and vibrator is their savior. You don't know.
No. Savior of what is the question? Listen to me carefully.
Savior of orgasm.
No, listen to me carefully, Auntie B. I agree with you ultimately, right? What I am saying is that the reason why this conversation is going on is because I personally feel like we're not in one session like this. We will never do justice to this topic, right?
Of course.
That's the point I'm trying to make, right? There's a lot of enhancement talk without talking about the root cause of why there's disconnection between you and your partner. Enhancements cannot fix the disease. Most medicines will relieve you small, but it will not help you heal. That was the point I was trying to make, because
I understand.
it's very important. Listen, vibrator, if ever me sorry, vibrator, don't let us go there. Okay, all right.
That's another discussion for another day. Vibrator, I will come.
Okay, another day, because I'm all for that, by the way. But a lot of the men that Dr. Shola was talking about yesterday, they actually don't want that in their bedroom. I don't think he realizes that.
Oh, they don't want vibrator.
A lot of these traditional men don't want that stuff in their bedroom.
But when they can't get it up, uncle.
You see the conversation, they go deeper now. You see what they talk.
Selfishness. That is selfishness in the highest order.
Bill, you don't see man when the banana they walk in the mind. Why she go buy vibrator? You don't see her.
Banana walk or not, there's nothing wrong with enhancement.
This fight, not be to start kerewa with the problem, not to complete and that be the challenge.
Okay, let me give you one example now. I wish I
after you drop your level. Sorry, after you drop that part, I'll go to Big Bay and
me, I don't start fight. I don't start a fight without asking my partner, are you okay?
Yeah, what's going on?
Where most men are mistaking this thing.
Yes.
Start fight. When you just finish the fight, finish.
Because thank you, B.O.
Because you don't do, you go say you just go bedroom. Then they don't matter like that too. What you need to do, you need to confirm. You need to, like me, I already know. I don't build that relationship to know, say, okay, this person, he don't confirm. He don't reach there. You understand? So most women get irritated because the kerewa sound more selfish than something that have to do with a fulfillment for both parties. Do you understand me? So
God will bless you.
You know. So what will bless you? You know. So you don't want to be selfish about it. So not be just to measure kerewa, or looking it from one side.
So if you not be person where you get this kind of emotional intelligence where you just drop just now, Bio. Now why I love you be that because you understand. That shower tissue work where. So you understand.
Because even at I go answer you say you don't okay, you don't belleful.
Exactly.
Even if I see transaction, talk less of the one will be normal one.
Exactly. So I go let Uncle Brother Patrick talk. But what I want to talk, we say sometimes some brothers go feel say just because they got it up and they just do and they just make love. Maybe they even they don't last long, and that's okay. Without taking the time to carry the woman along to make sure. Okay, some men are better than others, obviously.
Right.
If you slept with multiple men, you will know that some are better than some. Some they train themselves to a stage whereby they make sure that woman is enjoying it and she has to come. They are not going to be selfish about it. But some men are very, very selfish about it. Some women will tell you that they feel used because it will just come. And when it finish, she's left high and dry.
He said one of the callers to that show said they would just fall asleep.
Exactly.
Which is I listen, I'm guilty of that. I'll fall asleep. The only thing I learned over time is that when I'm falling asleep, I make sure you two they fall asleep.
How would you fall asleep when you've gotten to where you are going?
Not me falling asleep because I got there first and to help with the other person.
So
right?
So it's very important for some women. I have a friend. For her, it's not even the actual the acts that is important to her. It's what happens thereafter, the cuddling. She enjoys it. She loves it.
Right.
So don't turn around and fall asleep. You have to cuddle her. How was it for you? What can we do better? Talk about it.
Yeah, it's an ongoing struggle for most men when it comes to the whole cuddling thing. Or let's cuddle. Why do you have to stick it every time you want to cuddle? That one. Anyway, but anyway, let's go to Brother Patrick. Sorry, Auntie Big how you did? Brother Patrick, feel free to chime in anytime. Let's make it a
Hello.
conversation. We
Hello.
couldn't see on our face, so it's hard to see if you're making an expression face that you want to
So I
chime in
was
already.
laughing. I was
But no,
laughing.
no, Allah, no, Allah. Go ahead and speak your truth, Jare, my sister.
Hello, Auntie B.
Hello, sweetheart.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Hello, Bio. I see you. How you doing?
They find no, my
Say
sister. We
true.
thank God though.
Say true. What's your problem? Kini problem, ego?
Can you
Eh?
take this off?
Dido and vibrator cannot romance you. These things are punishment. Doing by yourself to yourself, you know, easy. Why don't you hold the very Kini, what is your own? What's Kini problem, man?
I'll tell you like this. Let me drop because I know we said this is not the topic for it. This dildo vibrator thing. If you had it into your bedroom where both of you are participating, if you haven't done that, you don't know what you're missing. Just so you know.
I beg. Don't tell
but
somebody that is doing something. Why are you doing it when you've not done it? Say
yeah,
what Loni.
yeah, but I've heard men that call it their traditional values. They don't, or they feel like
If you know the number of marriages that Dido and the vibrator are saving, you will not say that thing you're
You will
saying.
not say that thing you are saying. Yes, now.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well,
It's better than cheating. It's better than cheating.
yeah.
For instance, sorry, when
so
somebody is
pee
sick,
is better than cheating too.
yes, when somebody is sick, for instance, your partner is sick, would you rather she go out there to go and cheat? If vibrator or Dido can help her in that period that her partner is, what I mean, critical
TB,
sickness.
that argument, they will ask you, you can't have self-control for a few 7 days that your partner is.
It's not 7 day sickness I'm talking about. I'm talking about long-term sickness, 5 years.
Oh,
6
long
years.
time. Oh, I know.
Yes.
That's real. That's real. That's real. Those are some of the crises that can hit marriage that nobody talks
Of
about.
course, chemo. He's on chemo. He has cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that.
Sorry, Bimpe, continue. Sorry.
No problem. No,
Ma
I mean,
binu jare.
if your partner is sick, won't you? I mean, if it's a life-threatening sickness like cancer, like you guys have talked, won't you hold yourself for 6 months or even more because you want them to feel better? So you guys have said a lot, but I just want to say to our men that for African men, because this has been this too. If you attend to the needs of your woman, let's start from there. You attend to her needs. You satisfy her love language. A sensible woman, she will always be ready for you anytime. But what I've noticed is most of our men, they don't take care of that aspect, and they want that woman to be, not all of them, not all the men, because I'm choosing my words.
No worry. Feel free to generalize. You're good. You're good.
No, I don't want to, because if we are generalizing, then we will not have a good conversation. Because the point of this conversation is not to bash whether African men or African women. The point is for us to learn
Right.
and to see how we can improve ourselves. Because that's the way I'm seeing it. That's why I feel kind of disappointed with Pastor Shola. I know we are not attacking him. Nobody should take it as an attack. But I see that most time when he talks about this issue around sex, although he has a good beginning, I think he has good intention. He wants women to learn. He wants men to learn and be better. But along the way, when he will start well, but he will just go all the way to another level, and then he will bring this issue of what I really noticed about him is the comparison between African women and African American women, which I don't think any African men should even be doing that. Let's even begin with, honestly. Because most of us African women, or maybe let me say Nigerian women, because those are the women I know. The way we even our idea of sex is so sacred, is like you can't have this thing until you are in a marriage. Does that mean people don't do it before they get married? Of course
They do. Oh.
they do. A lot of people fight. A lot of people, they have to get married. Not to judge anybody, but the way we go, like when we learn, some of us don't even know what is called until they get married. Some people get married, they can't even talk about it until they have all their children. It's still like something that is so sacred and so secretive and so so comparing us to an African American, a regular or average African American woman that she's so sexuality, she has practiced so many people. They even started kissing and making out when they were in college. Some people have where they were. So they are totally different when it comes to sex. Whatever sex is about, our orientation about sex is different. Does that
Right.
not because they're an African woman, because they don't know about sex, to just stay in that way, don't learn, don't grow? No, I disagree with that too. You
Right.
should be able to learn and improve yourself.
You should be open-minded. Yeah.
Open-minded, yeah, to learn, to grow, to learn about sex. Because if you don't like sex, why are you even in the marriage? Let's even start from there. Why do you want to get married?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because for me,
Like the
marriage
person
for
that
me-
said they were asexual, like, okay, good, no problem.
Exactly.
That
And
means
I
you're
know
good all
what-
by yourself. What's
Yeah.
wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong. And honestly, I've come to in this stage of my life. If somebody walk up to me and say, "Pipi, you know what? I don't think I want to get married." I'll say, "Oh, why?" I mean, I want to know why. She say, "You know what? Maybe it might be something that has to do with they don't like sex, or some don't want to have children." I'll be like, "Oh, okay. I respect that. I'm not even going to try and convince you and be like, you should marry. You should get married."
No match should be that now.
You know, at this point of my life, with all I've known, I will not even try and convince them, because in short, I respect that person that they say, "I don't want to get married."
Yeah.
And it's fine. So, but we need to
Or unless they come into our conversation and try to recruit people. That's when I have problem. Like,
yes, or they say, "Oh,
like
sex is
I'm
overrated."
okay with that. Hell, you say things like sex is overrated.
Sex is
You're
overrated. No,
recruiting.
say what is on your mind. If you don't like sex, you don't want to get married, just say it. Don't say sex is overrated. It's not overrated for people that have sex.
And to be fair, it's okay for them to express themselves. It's just that it's okay for us to respond too, just so you know.
Well, that's true. That's true.
So,
But the thing is,
But if they are saying, if you say sex is overrated, say in my own opinion and in
To
my
me,
experience.
yeah,
In my
to me.
experience, it is overrated because I don't like it. I've not enjoyed it before. In fact, I don't want to do it. On that show we did yesterday, somebody in the comment section said, "I've always hated sex, so I decided not to get married." I respect people like that.
Right.
Exactly.
I will be the one to look stupid if I tackle that person and say, "No, you should want to." Like,
Yeah. You know, I would not even. That's why I said, in this stage of my life, if you walk up to me and say, "I don't want to get married," okay, it's your
Fine.
choice. If it's okay, I even respect you that you even tell me that. And I think maybe there are some men, not maybe few men, as the big corrected me yesterday. A few men don't like sex, not some, say few. Some few men don't like
Very few.
No. Good point. Big Bass, thank God you're here. I heard you yesterday said, I heard you. Yeah, she was saying that it wasn't even about the gauge of how much men. Listen, I don't know if you are aware. Just so we know. But right? People are struggling to find life partner, right? But then in that same breath, you are telling people that clearly they don't know what they're talking about. They're calling themselves asexual. Yes, I said it. They don't know what they're talking about. They call themselves asexual because of a few experiences. But they still want marriage. That one is
Juju be that.
all right. You can't want marriage and you are saying you are asexual. What you can do is you can be open-minded and talk to someone. Maybe there's something about your particular personal experience that you need someone to help you assess. So, because again, naturally, right? If you've had bad experiences, there are men that have bad, they try to perform oral career on somebody, and the smell was bad, and for life they can't go near. So now the wife in the future will continue to suffer. Even though they want that, right? That's not fair too, right?
Yeah.
So we need to talk to that person, help them assess, and you need to understand where that person is coming from, so that, see, if we don't get deeper into the conversation, it's creating more damages to continue to generalize, to continue to say. Now, to your point that you made yesterday, people that are looking for a regular husband can't find husband. You are telling the person that say asexual, go and find somebody who's asexual too. She won't become God as in me.
no. What I go one WhatsApp group. They pay my WhatsApp group here, If you
Because
don't
I don't
want.
want you to go marry somebody and suffer another person's son or daughter.
I know where you were coming from. I know where you were coming from. I'm like, Big Bay, I don't know if you are helping this person. If you don't give them the WhatsApp group where they are gathering.
I don't know where WhatsApp group where they are.
Okay, all right, continue, Big Bay. Sorry.
Yeah, so like we've said, if you feel, I wanted to say something, but like if you feel out of
Sorry, Mabino.
So,
Let me see. If you remember, just bring it back up.
yeah.
Tell me, Tisa, I've never tried the dildo or vibrator. Almost had the real. Always had the real one since I was 19. More so, I've got a phobia generally. I know it has really helped some women. So here's the thing: most people that I've never had, that's not necessarily you, Temi T. Shout out to Temi T, my G. Now, I'm not talking about people. Just most people in general, when they've never experienced or used it, they assume that is the one that looks like this microphone. They assume that is when they talk about sex toys in general, they assume is something that's going to shift the womb inside. For the most part, it's stuff to help you create stimulation around the clitoris on the outside of your body. For the most part, so that's something that I wanted to make sure I point out. Go ahead. You were still saying something.
Yeah, so now I remember. So another point I want to throw out is our people. Because I know most of us here were probably African, or we are related. We have African background.
Right.
I think it's point that we should try to start being comfortable seeking help with our whatever sexual problem that we have. We should be comfortable seeking help. We should be comfortable seeking help, going to a sex therapist. We should be. There's nothing wrong with that. We should be, especially for women, because I'm talking from a perspective of women that were circumcised. There was an issue that I dealt with, and thank God for Auntie B. She introduced me to somebody that was able to link me to how to resolve that issue.
Wow.
If I said, and I'm still going to talk about it on our show, but I'm not talking about it right now. But I'll bring up the issue on our show. Probably one of the show that we'll schedule later on, and I'll give a background, start from the beginning to how I was able to resolve the issue. If I hadn't spoken out or I haven't reached out, I'll just say, well, this is me, this is what happened to me, and I'm just gonna stay right there, and that's it. I wouldn't have gotten help, and it was a very serious issue, but I've gotten the help. So I think for our people, it's okay, whether male, especially for male too. Because a lot of some of our men, I don't know if I should say a lot or some, because I don't want my word to be taken out.
A lot of them. You can even say all of them.
Not all of them.
But a lot of them.
They don't know, even though they know how to have sex, but they don't know how to communicate sexually with their partner. Meet their partner's sexual needs. It's not only emotionally, meet their needs. How to satisfy your woman. A lot of our men
most of them
they don't know how to satisfy their woman.
Most of them just know how to come. That's all they know how to do.
Exactly.
This is the reality. This is what's going on. This is the conversation that nobody wants to have.
Yeah.
This is the conversation that is very difficult for men to have because of our ego.
Yeah.
Most of them, they don't want to talk about it.
They don't want to talk about it at all.
It is a sin for a man not to know his wife G-spot. Go ahead, dear.
Yeah, you have to learn and be open to learn, even if you don't know. That's another problem. Even if you don't know,
at least somebody you've married for years, you don't know her G-spot.
Yeah,
my dear.
Be open to learn. Don't say this is what I do, this is how I do it, and you have to take it like that. But you know me now. No, I don't know you. I don't know.
But it's a sin. Only is a sin, Shani.
Yeah.
To be open to learn, especially sexual, anything around. It's like we don't anything sex. We just put it in a very high esteem that we cannot talk about it. This is one way, and it has to be that way. And if it's not that way, don't talk to me about it. Even for women too, don't say we have been doing it this way, but this is how I am. This is what I do, and no, I want us to change. I want us to grow. I want us to do better. to do it in a better way.
Yeah.
And to be open to seek help. The help part is very important. Open to seek help. We don't know everything. We should be open,
Yeah.
to talk. We should be able to go to a sex therapist, regardless of whatever age you are. You should be able to do that. So
at this point, before I go to Brother Patrick, I've concluded that everyone, until you buy for the rest of your life, you have to remain a student of what helps your relationship thrive. Your relationship 2 years ago is not what it is today. Your relationship from 5 years ago is not the same thing as what it is today. Simply because the life you're living today is quite different from the life you're living. And all of this stuff is affected by environmental external factors. And if you know that those things, that the only thing that's constant is change, there's no way you're going to be like, oh, finally I've learned the body and now you're a master. Mastery is an ongoing thing. You have to remain a student. It's an ongoing thing. You have to remain a student. There's no such thing as you fully learn the body of your wife. You have to continue to explore. That's what makes it fun. You have to, the same thing for women, right? The same thing for women. But I just know that the principles of life is that the men carry the seeds. When you sow these seeds, it's impossible that it will not be multiplied and reciprocated. But if you don't have the patience to go through your own process of sowing the seed first and then waiting for the due season for harvest, if you can't even be that patient, you can't wait for Dr. Shola to pander to us men for 2 weeks. You're on the platform saying women do this, women, calm down, calm down, right? Calm down. It's not your turn to start saying women, they always weaponize and stuff like that. Weaponize Bitiba. Why would you want to do that to me, my wife? You want to weaponize? Kinimoshe, what did I do? Let's even go in that direction. What did I do that you would want to weaponize? Now she can open that and start talking like, and you call that weaponize? Oh, babe, you can just express to me what. She just need to feel heard, and then you can penetrate everything physically, spiritually, emotionally. You can penetrate everywhere you want.
Or otherwise.
Otherwise. Let's go to Brother Patrick.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, I've really learned from you guys. You guys are freelance sex therapists.
Offer. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for the donation, sir.
Angle.
Auntie B, you are welcome. I saw your lipstick and your night game.
I'm ready for action.
And your night game, let me put it that way. I say, wow.
I'm already in bed, sir. So all this talk you are talking now is sweeting me already.
It's stimulating you. That's the one with that.
Yes, sir.
Quickly discharge Auntie B after I said something. You know, I'm serious.
Auntie B, you are free to go whenever you want to.
I've really learned from you, ladies.
Let me make you laugh. Daddy will tell us that he has to enter altar tomorrow. No kerewa on Saturday night.
Yes, man.
No joke.
Wow.
I'm on my own. Let me just catch my cruise and
sorry.
you know when my kids were little, I took my son to hospital, so waiting for the doctor. And I just saw one of the literature. I said, let me read this. Can you believe the literature was about when your wife is going through chemo or your spouse is going through chemo? How you guys could have caregivers? Oh my God.
That's what's up. See, you just have to ask. The solution for everything.
So they put it there. How you can have caregiver without any stress? That's oh my God.
Yeah.
These white people has gone.
Yeah.
I know, and I've gone to a sex therapy seminar that I saw elderly people that were there.
Yes, 70, 80. I saw Auntie B laughing at 80 people, 80 years old people yesterday on yesterday's show.
I was only black person there.
Oh wow.
Yes. I work in a nursing home for like 6 months. I said, no, I can't do this. I was in school then. I work with dementia patients. You know, one day they called me. I said, Patrick, can you come in on the Saturday? I said, for what? I said, let me go for overtime. I don't have anything to do. So I went around in the evening. You know what I decided? I should start the reception. I said, for what? 2 elderly people that were not seeing them, they were trying to make out.
Should you be that?
To watch them.
But Patrick, you are right. It happened quite a lot. We have a lot of safeguarding in nursing homes because they're always trying to sleep with people's grandfather and grandmother in that place.
Very, very. Thank
You
you
are
for
right.
confirming that. I said,
Abba.
Papa, just stay at the reception. This is 5 o'clock. Say they've been telling them they don't want to listen. That these people they love each other. One is putting on inside where it's not supposed to put that. Oh my God!
He shot you.
like I said, I've learned from you guys a lot even today. Yes, somebody who's coming up.
Somebody is touching something.
I need Portable's voice on this thing. Zazu, I'm a babu.
Federal government liability.
Oh, wow.
Like we've said a lot about Pastor Shola even yesterday. You know what?
Right.
What is like he's our man. And what me is concerned about is the language. Yes.
Yeah, the language.
That he communicates to his entire audience. The choice of words is very important. You know what I mean? At this level, and being a pastor and a doctor, there are some things you have to be very careful. I know, his video usually goes viral all over the world.
That's precisely why, sir, because he's very entertaining. When you speak from a very extreme end like that. So and people, we enjoy him. We enjoy watching that, and I want to trust that if he's assessing the person on an individual level, he won't just be blaming the person. But it's very important to acknowledge that it's dangerous because a lot of people are watching and they're normalizing some of those things.
Allah, maybe you don't know. Pastors are they are first reporter. If you come to me and say you slap your wife, you've been abusing your wife, it is my responsibility as a pastor to let the police know. Because if you go to court and they come and I'll be dragged into it and I can go to jail.
Because you knew. It's like you can accomplice.
Yes, as a pastor and a community leader. There's something that is happening in community that even before the press know, people inside they knew already know what is going on.
Right.
There's everything. There's nothing that is hidden in this world. Now, there's nothing. People will psych you. They go and look for facts. So you have to be very careful. People are going through a lot. People's life are being messed up.
Right.
So there's a pedestal at which you put people. The way you deal with them, that God will need time. Like everyone, you will not have time to come to Facebook because there will be a lot of traffic. People will not be saying because you need money, that's why you are coming. No. And like I put it in but I do a professional, I'm not going to mention the name, professional marriage counselor that is being known in America, in Nigeria. Yes, that it's only made people, it's made customer even white. Yes, this guy the wife is a doctor.
Right.
I know him. So he has to be very careful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he said when he started his show today, I know he mentioned he pondered on it. He tried to think about it. Like, is it because we all content creators do that? Did I say something wrong? If it comes to my attention at all, if I offend people, will never come to my attention. But if it comes to my attention at all, I would wonder, like, did I say something wrong? And he's human like the rest of us. When he gets in the spirit of talking like that and he's charged like that, remember he's a pastor, he's talking like he's preaching, right? Things will fly off. Things will fly off his mouth.
When it's consistent, when it's consistent, it's an attitude. You have to really.
It's him. Yeah. Once it's a consistent thing, it just means it's something about him. Yeah.
even they don't give an example of the wife and all those things. No, you don't have to go there. Yes.
I thought I was just me by myself, but shout out to Dr. Shola. I thought I was just me by myself. I asked my wife. I asked her just before we started the show. I said, if you stumble into one of my shows, Man of Prestige, and I said, we're apart for about 3 months, and I said, I didn't want to have sex with my wife. She said, she the one mean.
I was actually shocked with that information anyway.
Right.
You know that America, when I get to America, I really know the importance of asking people's consent before you do anything.
Right.
Even your children, even your wife, you can't just.
But Esa, like you were saying, sir, I think he really doesn't know that that's a thing. I think he really, because I don't think he's the guy that if he knows that this is going to rub people up the wrong way, he will repeat it. I think he really doesn't know, but he's also the kind of person that will lower giddy small. And then be like, okay, this thing is getting a little bit problematic. Let me avoid it.
Everything takes time.
Everything.
My sister has been in America for 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
When he tells you something, he will just laugh.
Mm-hmm.
He's been here, he has grown up kids.
Yeah.
Pastor was talking about if I call people in Texas, they will not come for program. It takes time. You are new in Texas.
Yeah, he's right. He's right about that. Yeah. I see Take Two say Vara for where? Dr. Shola has clout. What are you talking about? Have you seen him on Facebook? He has clout now.
Yeah, don't throw people under let them know you first. They will come. Don't throw them under the bus and say I went to someone. What is this man talking? People have been on this field for how many years? They don't play their trumpets. You know what I mean? Like I've always been saying, every store has they have their own loyalists. Some people will buy from Target. The same they will not buy. They will sell at $2 in Walmart. They will not go to Walmart.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So every store has their own loyalists. I've worked at Von Moore, one of the big stores. We have our customer. They come. Their suit is no $1 suit. People buy it. People will say, I can't come to that store. So don't look at it that way.
Yeah.
You should cut down the way you just talk on this thing.
No, he can't cut down though. I think he should. I think the only thing I would advise, if he's listening, the only thing I think he listens. The only thing I would advise is that he should be aware. Awareness is key. There are strategic points when you're a content creator, you just have to have polarized views, because more people, it engages people more. Me that I'm centered here, you see, now struggle for here because we talk on both sides of our mouth. I understand this side, I understand this. That's boring. I'm telling you, that's how the human brain works. It's boring. Like Adewale said, I believe he had some comic relief to keep some people engaged. Without that, his conversation will be boring. That's a fact of life. The human brain cannot stay there and be listening to you preaching all day long. It will sleep.
Everybody has their own style. STP has a style.
My own thing is I stay in my own lane.
I take time to listen to Ola. We'll be with Ola for 1-2 hours. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But we know. I'm talking about the language.
No, we're talking. No, Patrick. Now I have to push back. We're talking about in general. Human beings, the brain will sleep off if it's too preachy. That's just the way the human brain is set up in general. You're right that everyone should stay in their lane because you will find your own audience, right? Yeah. If it's a situation that he's deliberately using this to trigger people, I think that's a bad idea. If it's a situation that is a natural talent for him, because I think to a large extent he's a funny guy, that he just focused in that one direction and he can't see anything else. No, I will drag everybody in this angle because this is what I'm focused on right now. Then fine, because actually it helps. But if you take this back to your personal relationship, shout out to Honey Bay. She said he is just being real. If you take he is just being real back to your personal relationship, you go collect. You go badly. Your wife no go see say you are real. The only thing she can interpret is her feelings.
I agree with you. Just like Zazu has his own audience.
You see now, we're all engaged. It don't make sense, but we're just engaged. You see? Yes. Thank you, sir, for that one, for that example.
Like Bio is always talking sense. That's why I respect Bio.
And Bio is a funny guy.
Yeah, Bio is funny, even though he has had some experiences. But when
Bio go to speak pidgin, I don't understand what he did. Yeah. But I go just glue like what's it in yes.
It's not as if because I'm seeing Bio. Bio has experienced some things that whenever it takes time to analyze, which I
really of course, yes.
I really respect him for that, you know.
Yes.
So that's
no, it's the pigeon part I was talking about. Pigeon, it goes too deep for me. I'm like
that's some Sister B's video. That this Sister B would make a very critical analysis of that. I say, wow, where is this woman getting all these facts?
Right.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm driving, I want to be fed well. You know, the truth. We are in America. When you have Nigerian Americans as your audience, and you want to go far.
Right.
And also, if I can just interject, sorry.
No problem.
Brother Patrick.
Thank you for coming and gracing us with your beautiful presence. For coming on camera.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I also want to say the person that said is just being real. You cannot be blunt, or I can't remember what the word the person.
Blunt to me. He's blunt.
Yeah, you cannot be too blunt and lose the purpose of the information you are trying to pass across.
That's a good one.
You can be blunt, but you cannot lose the purpose. If you are too blunt, that the purpose of the message you are trying to pass across is lost in your bluntness, then you are not having any. You are not.
It's like, what's the point?
Then what's the point of being too blunt?
A lot of men struggle with this.
Yes, I'm very blunt too, but also I want to make sure that whatever I'm passing across, the person understands it, at least in a way that they will be accepting of whatever I say.
Yeah.
Very
especially when you are doing public speaking and you are talking to different kind of people from different backgrounds. Because although we said he has African audience, there are some people that are not African in his audience too. You know?
Yes.
Some of us might understand what he's trying to say because we are used to that kind of when people talk, they are very abrasive and they talk.
Let me give you a quick good news. Our male audience here grew by 200% in the last 2 months.
Oh wow, that's
right.
Good.
Because again, I don't want it to be skewed to one direction. Shout out to Auntie B for always showing support to this platform. When she first made the noise about Men of Prestige, we went crazy. We went straight to 80% ladies, right? But there are men that want to learn. They're usually quiet behind the scenes, right? Imagine if they come here, all they're hearing me do is bash men all the time. They will shut down. They're humans. They will shut completely down, But it takes time. It takes because once they hear me, if I'm engaged to ladies and I say I agree and then I push back, they don't hear the pushback part. They just hear the part where I'm agreeing with women because they have a human brain at the end of the day, right? So like you're saying, communication, it's not just, I started this session with that. It's not just talking. You need to make sure it lands. It needs to, what's the point of talking if it's not going to land at the end? You're just a talkative.
Exactly. And Pastor Shola does that a lot. He like I said, he has good intention. He wants people to learn because he has been through several marriage counseling with several people. So I think he's overwhelmed with so many issues that people bring to him. Sometimes I think he doesn't even know how to, whenever you want to say, he doesn't know how to balance the conversation. He just say, you know what, I'm just going to say it the way
the way it's coming to his brain is just
because it's too much. I think sometimes it's too much for him, and I don't know if he realizes that because dealing with emotional issues, it takes a lot of talent. You have to it's a calling for you because it's a lot.
Yes, it's a lot of patience.
Demography. You have to look at the demography too.
You are talking
what works in New York may not work in Texas.
True.
Yeah. Yes.
I've been to New Jersey. At the gas station, it's the Indian that was selling gas. So I said, no, I want to buy gas. He said, no, let me sell your gas.
Like the comparing the African American with African women
That
thing
just
is an emotional intelligence issue. Like I tell everyone on this platform all the time, we have to remain students of emotional intelligence. And to be fair, for what's all this?
Auntie, what are you eating?
In fact, I'm eating some mende. Shebi is bio that want to show us that he knows how to cook.
I know it's torturing us in the
doing jollof rice, and I don't know whether it's jollof rice or
wow.
well.
To be, I understand pidgin. It's just that when it goes too deep into Owanle Street, you go lose me.
I know your struggle. I went to University of Ife, so I know the struggle of Yoruba people and pidgin.
Is that big I'm saying so?
Yes, now.
Oh, sorry. I mean, my wife rapper. I can't show my face.
Oh, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay, sir.
That is romantic. Very romantic.
Oh, deep. Oh, deep. Oh, deep.
How do you know we are wearing t-shirt too?
Yeah.
Now, big cap I put on.
Auntie B, shout out to you. Let me tell you something. Let me give you your flower while you're here, Auntie B. You know, my wife and I have been following you for a long time. You've refined that platform so much. In the beginning, we just like Auntie was in one angle, one direction.
I was fighting for women.
What about the common sense sisters?
Yeah, actually,
it's obedient. One job for Nigeria.
The common sense sister.
I ask about them all the time too. Yeah. I remember coming on the platform and I didn't realize they were there. And I said, "Come on."
They reach out from time to time to me on WhatsApp.
Hey, I said, "Common sense is a terrible guide to romance and relationships." And then the next thing, I'm like, there are people called common sense sisters here. No be how they talk. I get, I get it.
You have to learn. I mean, when it comes to public speaking, I hear what you were saying, Ola. But going back to what Bio and Brother Patrick kept saying something about the language.
Right.
I wanted to say something about that. Like you said, this is not how I was, on Obodo Ibo TV when I started.
In the beginning, you had passion. You just wanted to. You were shooting straight bullets everywhere.
I was very emotional and I didn't know how to control it. I just said it the way I felt it. But now I feel like I have more control and I have more. My delivery is better now. And this is, I mean, it is what happens in life. When you do something consistently for a while, you master it and you gain experience.
You get better. Right? Yes.
So
even like Kiriwa itself.
Yes. Yes, you can balance it with time. Yeah. But I mean, talking about the delivery that Brother Patrick was talking about and the language. So I do have a problem with the language as well, because there's just some things, no matter how you want to be dramatic, you want to, I see Pastor Shola as somebody that, he understands marriage and relationships a lot. He's a feminist. He feels for women. And he's also very easily exasperated and frustrated by people who can't get it right or who can't see what is right or wrong in relationship. And so, because he doesn't know how to communicate that frustration, he will just be using words like stupid. He will be using
Olodo. He said Olodo.
When you enter Yoruba and start to short,
Olodo. Somebody said I didn't agree. When somebody said they don't agree in your chat, for me, what I do is like I engage them. I say, what part don't you agree with, right?
Yes.
Some people overreact to that because I agree with, wow, this is my show. What do you mean agree?
No, it's very, very emotional. Pastor Sarah is very, very emotional. And as a result, it comes across, you understand? But I see his frustration. He just needs to communicate it a little bit better so that it doesn't come across, because like Bimpe said, you can't be too like that in a way that you're losing people who this message is valuable for. They will tune out when you're calling them.
They will.
Words. You understand?
They will. Because
an adult, I can't be an adult. I'll come to your platform. You're calling me stupid. No, I won't listen. I'll tune out.
Unless I'm in a very a bad place and I really need, and I've deemed you that I really need
they are
you.
not your parents. No, Allah, no matter how where
No,
you
no,
are.
no,
If it's
I
your
got me.
mother that is talking to you is a different thing.
No, I'm saying when it will work. I'm saying the only time that it generally doesn't work. The only time that will work is if somebody, like for example, the example you gave today, that person now went and initiated. I said, well, that person is in the rock bottom, and they're willing to even endure abuse, and that's not a good thing. They're willing to endure a little abuse because they're just badly needing that thing, right? And I always tell people, I says, guilt and self-blame is just as bad. They're not good. If you are blaming yourself, you will create terrible results. If somebody is guilt shaming you, you will create terrible results because you will be coming from a place of fear as opposed to a rock solid foundation to understand it all the way, Even when I got on
RTB's, if not, it's not going to get the message delivered effectively as well.
Generally, no, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
The people will shut down. People will shut down.
Yeah.
Like
you
if
can't be calling people names like that or things like that.
Yeah, people will shut down, and the people that will hang around. We always talk about Kevin Samuels. The people that hang around such languages generally it's not just talking like that all the way through. It's viral moments go like that, right? The people that hang around such stuff, they still don't get the solution they're looking for. They are attracted to the toxic thing that's coming with that he's checking me because there's truth in it, right? It's landing, right? But eventually you will end up resenting that, so it's a public speaking. For anybody that's wondering why we're talking about Dr. Shalan, we didn't invite him. Listen, there's something I didn't finish saying earlier. Okay, I invited Dr. Shalan back then for a collaboration. He said I don't collaborate. Okay, that's the last conversation I had with him about this. That's what he said. This was as far back as 2018. He said, I don't collaborate, and I can respect that. That's fine. Okay, I don't know him personally. We've met once in person. I follow him because his audience are basically my audience, right? So I have to pay attention to what he's saying so that if there's any place I need to add context, I will add context. What we're doing today is adding context. There's nothing he said that's false. That's why they triggered people. There's no lies in terms of at the general level of what he's saying. But again, now we're talking about public speaking. We're talking about you're a public figure. We're going to have to address this. You have about 200 people tuning into you every day. We're going to have to address this just in case somebody needed a little bit additional context. Like, because for the past few years, a bunch of men felt like they were just evil listening to him. And they didn't get it. After they listened for 10 minutes, they will just shut off the Kini Baba Yinso. It's pandering to women. That's what they will say. Now, in the past few days,
in an attempt to balance
it, in the past few days,
there's something I want.
Let me bring on the bill up.
There's something I want you to comment on.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So, analyzing that issue, on that video is something that the presenter had said that I thought was trying to be sensible, but not really very sensible, because the words that were used, like for instance,
right,
the question was asked, if a woman, he is trying to defend a man now that is doing everything, right? So let's just take a case study now and say, okay, to the man, I don't know whether to the woman, but let's say a man reached out to you now, you are the presenter, which is in his own case, and the man was able to establish that I do everything, I do this, I'm doing right, but my woman is not giving me what? Kerewa. Then jump forward to a statement that said that, and I find that insulting to Nigerian women, sorry to say, that when the woman is looking for husband, that the woman will give every time, if you like, do 2 shifts. When you come home, it will still do, it will not be tired. But after marriage, it will start bringing tiredness. So that kind of draw two things. That was what Brother Patrick was trying to address. The
Right.
choice of words were actually not really nice. We must be honest about this. You know, they say if you love somebody, you tell the person the truth to their face. You know me.
Yeah.
I would rather just log out from here than not to speak my mind. So in that instance, you know, when I first came to Auntie B's show, you know, the first thing that attracted me, I didn't come at the time Auntie B was already maybe trying to balance issues. No. I came, even though I'm a man, at the time that men were on the edge. And a lot of people on the comment section used to call me woman, appealing, this and that, different.
You're pandering to women.
You know, I was laughing.
You're a simp.
Yes. The reason why I was laughing is because, see, this is not a gender war, okay? Every man has a daughter or a mother. At least a mother, if not. If not. And every woman has a father. If not, at least a father, right? So the reason why we are looking at things objectively, we are looking at it without bias on any part. So what I'm trying to say here in essence is, when you are delivering issue like that publicly, avoid comparing people. Comparison through race is not a good way to go. Black American, Nigerian women, it's a no-go area. Don't do that. Number one. Two, don't bash a generation of women, because this thing, even though you have a point, I was shocked when they say even if you are 40 years old, come from work, double chip, you will do. When you not marry, you not change. I'm like, no. Even though you are hearing this report, it's a case-by-case basis. As a consultant, you must know that it's a case-by-case basis.
Yes,
so,
even in business.
Yes. So if one case is like that, doesn't mean that every case is like that. So and now you are talking publicly, but you are making issues on a case-by-case basis. So you are going to get so much against, not for. Do you understand? Because even the man that you think is doing everything right, that is his own version. Have you asked the woman to confirm? Because the truth is, people can be wrong without knowing that they are wrong.
People will tell their own side of the story. That's what they do. And they will justify themselves because in their mind, they feel like they've done everything they should do.
Okay, let me say it here to you before I hand over the mic to the next person. True story. I have a friend who came here to the United States visiting me. He made a comment to me that him and his wife have not carried one for 2 years. Guess what? I told him the truth to his face. I said, how will she carry you when I know you are carrying small chukuli for Naija?
Lobato. So she probably knows something and she's probably just dry and she don't want no part of that.
Listen, the wife is a senior police officer. And this guy is being escorted by police in the town. And the wife is a senior, I'm not joking, a senior police officer. So I asked him, I said, do you think those your police that are following you, they are not telling their madam? He said, no, they didn't get the police through the wife. So what am I trying to say here? So sometimes when you don't listen to people's story, you don't know them too much. Sometimes you don't know what is happening behind the scene.
You don't know.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to, the wife would not even believe that maybe I defended her, but I'm saying it publicly. I just told him to his face. I said, how will he carry you? Because every day when he's driving with her escort, she's tracing you through the fence. Okay, they are with you. See where you are always using. See your angle 90 here. See your house here. So definitely, she don't want to carry disease. So what am I trying to say here? When men come, ask questions. When women come to ask questions, it's not just one side. It's both sides. But in the nutshell of it all, just like we have all agreed today, Kerewa, I'm telling you, we can't take it lightly. That does not mean we should be loose, but we can't take it lightly because
it needs to be addressed.
Yes, even in the Bible, it's part of the reasons why a man should marry. That is why when I was in the seminary, the first thing they taught us was celibacy. Okay? So not everybody is called to be a celibate.
Right.
If that makes sense. So, as far as you know that you cannot be a celibate, please go ahead and marry. And when Jesus was asked about marriage, the first thing he addressed was talking about sex kerewa issue. Even though he didn't say it in an ungodly manner. His interest was more about kerewa. It's internal between two persons. Don't make this other person do this, do that. So please, let us take kerewa very seriously. There's nothing as good as kerewa.
Absolutely. It's a serious talk.
Sugar cane.
I want to go to Honey Bay. Before I go to Honey Bay, D says, shout out to D. How you day? And Debusola, see all of you now in the chat. So I'm curious to your thoughts on Just Pearly Things. I will cover Just Pearly Things as a segment tomorrow during the week. I will do a whole hour session on it. I'm going to react to some things, and she's very, very important. You must watch out for personalities like Just Pearly Things. And you need to be able to see this 3 months ahead of time. I saw this 3 months ahead of time, but it's okay. I understand.
Is it a YouTube channel?
The white girl, that's been dragged by the black manosphere over the past few days. We'll talk about that. I will shed light for those of us that don't know how this will relate to relationships. I will break it all the way down so that you don't seem out of the fence. I'll be talking about that. I will do a segment on it tomorrow, then I will do a full live on it during the week. So Adebusola said the people who hang around become extremists. Yes, if because again, polarized views will gather people. Let's not get that part twisted though. If all you are talking is one side of the matter and you are being mean to one side and being pandering to the other side, it will grow faster than what we're doing here. Let's not get it twisted. It will grow faster, but you will gather extremists. In other words, if you bring what they're teaching in it back to a personal relationship, you go collect what. Okay, just so you know. Right. So Gracious Greatness, what is one of my brothers? He says, hey everyone, greetings to you. What Dr. Shola are you chatting about? Dr. Shola is very popular on YouTube. He has a new name now, something like that. Something about, what is it, marital counseling something. He's always changing his name. But on another note, more men would listen to Marital Counseling Hub, right? Exactly.
Yeah, that's
but
the right one.
I think if you Google his name, it will come up anyway.
If you
Dr.
put
Shola.
Pastor Shola, it will still come out.
It's come out, yeah.
Yeah.
He seems to be more slanted towards women's issue only. Yeah, Tony Gaskin is exactly that. But like most of them, if you listen long enough, even in that session that we're analyzing today, Dr. Shola said he got to a point it made sense. I was like, well, the problem is that most people will not listen to this part. They won't hear this small part, But again,
you watch the video all the way.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they've already left before you got to that part.
They already made up their mind, Abby. So thank you so much for that super chat, for that £20, Jenny J. I appreciate you. Thank you,
So,
thank you
Bio,
so much.
Do you think that kerewa is overrated in marriage?
Bio, the quick question for you.
I'm asking Bio before he signs out.
He don't mute. Maybe he'll come back.
Okay.
Oh, I did here.
Okay, he did here. Okay.
I go collect my eyes. Say I too like enjoyment. Now they see me. Okay.
Yeah.
No, we don't see you. We don't see you. Okay, you there corner.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah. Okay, don't come back. Yeah. You think it's overrated? No.
Kerewa is overrated.
Yes.
How can the kerewa be overrated? No. Kerewa is not overrated.
Kerewa is overrated.
That one nowhere.
That one nowhere. Wow. Let me go to Honey Bay. Honey Bay, what's up? What's going on?
Madam Prestige, how you doing?
You made it to my platform.
Yes, I did. I got another.
I know you've been here, but you're coming up for the first time, right?
Yes, that's correct. How are you doing?
Did you
Hello,
find
everybody.
Out that is live, Honey Babe.
I get notifications.
Oh, I see. Brilliant.
Yeah, Auntie B, how are you doing? Hello, Brother
all
Bio
right,
and everybody.
I'm good.
Hi.
I'm just chilling. I'm a guest.
Hello, Honey Babe.
So I'm loving it.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
Good.
What I will comment is that when I commented on being real, what I meant was that he's obviously talking about stuff that we've before in the past not been able to talk about.
Right.
But I do agree with you in the sense that you can articulate it in a more respectful manner. You don't have to. You don't have to be raw. For instance, if you go to work, you have to communicate with your colleagues. You can't do it in a disrespectful manner. You have to communicate it respectfully, and you can do that and still get your points across. I mean, I do watch him, and I find him hilarious. But I think for some people, what he says can be very offensive. I do understand that, and some people are not going to hear the message he's bringing because of the fact. Thank you, Sister D. That's what she said. Yeah, some people will not want to hear what he has to say. They will hear it for 2 minutes. I don't like this guy. So I think he needs to obviously sit back, take points, and maybe think about how he wants to articulate and obviously, you know, he's the way he speaks, because it could be offensive to people. I hold my hands up to that. But you can bring a message without being offensive. In terms of the Koa issue, I do disagree with what I'm saying. You cannot generalize a whole population of women. Everyone is different. The way I am is different to another Nigerian lady. You cannot generalize, and it is very offensive. And even African Americans, not everybody can be the same. You can't generalize.
They're not. They have the same struggles.
Yes. Yeah, of course. As that one of the ladies spoke to Auntie B yesterday.
Yeah, they have the same struggles, literally.
Of course.
Yeah,
I do agree. I think it's time for him. I don't really want to bash him because I do like him. I think it's time for him to reflect and think about his delivery in the way that he speaks to people, because he's probably alienating a whole lot of people, especially on the men's side, because they see that, he's pandering to the women, which I don't personally think he does. I think that sometimes in certain episodes or shows, he's on the side of the man.
But wait, Onibe, hold on. You're the one called accountability prefect. There's no
memory. How did you even remember?
Somebody just posted it. They reminded me. I think D just posted. You're the one called. Listen, anybody who would self-identify accountability prefect, there's no way you will understand why a man feels like it was pandering to men. There's also you might not be able to connect all the way with why women are feeling the way they are feeling this week. Because you tend to be able to see things from both sides. You can dig in deeper and throw the bones away and just eat the meat. You're that person, right? Yeah. Most people are not like that. Most people will catch feelings. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think that him being a licensed counselor, he should kind of, I don't want to say in a disrespectful manner, but he should know better, because you're supposed to be counseling people. And I assume he doesn't speak like that in counseling sessions. I would hope not. And I would assume that his language and the way that he delivers, and also the fact that as a counselor, wouldn't you have to take both sides? You would not lean towards one side over another. So I think you correct me if I'm wrong, Auntie B, but that's what I assume. So obviously what he's doing, I know that in YouTube, we can all put personas on. I'm not saying everyone is fake, but I think he needs to be very careful and always try and have two sides of the argument, because people lie. People lie all the time. They could be saying stuff to him and they could be lying. As you said, they could be saying, my husband is this. And then when you speak to the husband saying, no, that's not true. People lie.
I think I think Auntie B was alluding to the fact that he's an empath. Whatever side of the story he's listening to the most at that point in time, he engages it, and it's like angry, like, how dare you! You don't jump in this shower with me, or not, Joe.
In terms of
very emotional. That's why he shouts.
Auntie B is right. The thing is that we're all guilty. We're all work in progress, as we know. But if you say that you are coming on this platform, and if you say that you're a counselor, you need to hold your emotions in check. He's the professional. I'm not. I'm not giving excuses, but there was, a particular time where I was quite vocal, and I apologize for that.
Yeah, honey, baby. I mean, in all fairness, public speaking, especially online, is not an easy thing.
It's tough. There's no way you're talking for 2 hours and won't offend somebody.
No,
That's true. That's
It
true.
happens to me
That's
most
true.
times. You come prepared, you're feeling nice, you are happy, you have all your talking points, you are ready. Then somebody will just
And
come
somebody says sex
and
overrated.
they will just trigger you and boom.
Sex overrated, BT.
You will
Don't
just
be
go.
juju be that.
Don't be juju be
I mean, look.
You didn't need to go this far now.
I mean, look what happened to Auntie B. She had one subject because some things were said. She had to change it. So I do
She
understand.
changed the whole. Let me, in fact, let me report Auntie B to you.
Okay.
She came in my message talking about if you have time, we'll come on. If she says that, I'm going to create the time. Okay, I will set the time apart. And then the next thing, she changed her show yesterday to it.
It's
I was
not
like,
me, oh.
I was like, Auntie B, okay, we'll go do them on my platform.
No, you don't understand. Yesterday, I started a show. I was talking about polyandry.
I know, I saw it.
I was kicked out. YouTube kicked me out.
YouTube sniped it. I saw that. Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's never happened to me before. That's the first time. They said I used something that was copyrighted. So
the video, yeah. If they catch it, yeah.
They shut me off from YouTube. I was like, what? So when we came back, for some reason, the talk got to Kerewa, and before you know, we started talking about something that was completely unrelated to polyandry. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, I no wala. You did say if I have time, you didn't like lock in my time.
This topic we cannot overemphasize. I mean, we cannot, like you said, it's not something we can exhaust in one conversation.
No way.
You will still definitely, I will invite you to come back. We need to talk about it because, like you said, it's a problem in most marriages. It's a big problem in our community.
It is.
And people are not comfortable talking about it. Like somebody said in the comment section earlier on, the fact that we are having this conversation alone is progress.
Yes. It's a big it's progress because generally people are too they either take an offense or they get caught up in their emotions or nobody really gets to the. So for me, I know certain questions to ask to get and the patience that's involved in that, because even when people don't mean to lie to me, they will lie to me because they're actively trying to shield, put that filter on. We all do it. We put our best foot forward, right? You don't want to come off a certain way. You're actively filtering stuff, right? So it's very important that we'll continue to have this conversation. It's just that, Auntie B, if we're going to have Kerewa conversation, the AI is nobody's mate, like emotions. It will pick it up, it will demonetize. You have to be ready to super chat this type of conversation. So you're muted, Auntie B. You're muted.
Ola, I don't mind because, to be honest, it's a very important conversation. I don't mind.
Yes. So we need to get ready for that. Temiti Sokwe, best, but sincerely, most Nigerian YouTubers at home and in diaspora make offensive statements. I'm thinking, are we allowed to hold everyone accountable now, though? Like this is the part I was pushing against Brother Bio earlier. I don't think I got to say it. These people are content creators. So.
No. I will defend you something. Hold on first. Let me just stop you right there, presenter, sir.
Before, let me say one thing. Let me say one thing before.
All right, go ahead.
There's a reason why they share this with me, this particular episode with me in WhatsApp, and they didn't share all the other ones with me. Yeah. That's it, literally going viral. Okay. In action. Are you paying attention? So imagine how many people have shared it with since look at how this guy is talking. Yeah, let me tell you something about African American platforms from my personal experience. They super chat like mad. We know they super chat too. $200, $300, $400, $500. So
people like being paid that is, always encouraging other
people. Now me go tell Baba.
Super chat. They don't even like
people like Temiti. They're the ones that
shout out to Temiti. Yes, shout out to.
Okay, Ola, you did it the same thing. You challenge people. And
I don't understand that. I don't understand it.
Nigerians, we don't support our own platform. So the only way we let me say it properly. The only way we support is if they abuse us.
When that you now come to the platform, but you don't support.
I'm not justifying it. I think it's like Honey Bay said, you're a counselor. There are other ways for you to monetize what you're doing by coaching, counseling, behind the scenes, all that stuff. That's actually how we monetize, by people coming to pay us behind the scenes, right? But
at the simplest, it's good everybody subscribe.
I was saying it to Bingpe the other day. Because of the language, did you notice that most of Dr. Shola's videos are not even monetized by YouTube?
No, there's no way they're monetized.
There's no way, because it doesn't even filter his word at all.
I don't. He would just see the yellow. We know what the yellow meant.
Yes.
So you didn't allow me deliver what I wanted to say.
Oh yeah, go, Babio, go.
See, what I'm trying to say here
My God.
is I get it, but I want to take a cue with Mrs. Accountability, because
Are we
she
fighting?
made. Huh?
You quoted me. Are we fighting?
No. I said I'm taking a cue. I'm behind you on an issue that you raised.
I didn't hear you properly.
No, I said I'm going to take a cue. I'm going to be behind you on that one, on something that you mentioned. See, we cannot claim to be an expert in a field and then be controversial in that field. Let me explain this to you. For instance, the subject of today, that the video we are looking at, we are not looking at any YouTuber. We are looking at someone who already on its own is declaring himself a marriage counselor, listening, and not just a YouTuber. So you cannot, yes, you are a YouTuber, but it's like being a doctor. You claim to be a medical doctor, and you are speaking about a particular sickness in your medical field. However, you are treating that subject wrongly. So you cannot use the same blanket. Like for you, the presenter today, you do a lot of different topics that you are not really, as a content creator. And TB is not a marriage counselor. She does different things, share idea, does not claim that, right? So what I found out today is that maybe it's high time that we let people that are pastors to leave YouTube. When you come in, just talk about only God thing. The reason I'm saying this is because, the reason I'm saying this is because when you deal with people, you are counseling people, you are hearing their stories, you are getting privileged information, right? And you claim to be an authority on that field. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you notice when I started writing my comments here, notice that I've never used the word daughter or Pastor Shola. If you notice, sorry, I will tell you why. Not because of anything. If you claim to be something, I want to see you that you have an authority on that thing, right? So if you don't convince me that you are an authority on that issue,
right?
I can't come here as a tech and be talking like somebody who is a mechanic. I don't know if I'm making sense.
No, you make sense. Yeah.
So if a mechanic is treating a tech topic and is making some flip-flop, no problem. You understand? So you are an authority in that issue. A lot of Shola's video, I even see them as direct attack to his customers. Sorry to say, because you already have this stuff. You already have this. You have good heart. The good thing about him is he has a very good heart. He wants people to succeed. Everybody have indicated that. We agree. You have good heart. You have that. But it takes a lot to be an authority to listen to people's back-end stories.
Right.
You must have gone to a certain level.
Yeah.
So the same thing, like today, there are many good men out of God there, a man of God or pastor or religious leader. But the problem is they did not go to the institution to train them on how to know their limits. So that does not mean the man of God is bad, but he might not have the discipline. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can say, before I became a counselor, when somebody just come tell me something, I start reacting. But now I'm a counselor, I know better. I want to hear from two sides. I look at things objectively.
I get your point.
I get it.
One of the shows, this one we're talking about,
I agree.
said that he said, I didn't wait for Mario before I started sleeping. I was banging my wife.
That's why I said, Baba, leave Dr. Shola out of this.
I was banging my wife.
I beg, leave him, JJ. Dr. Shola, okay, so I according to the show 2018, right? The next time will be a few weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago. So we were getting ready to go to an event. So I just saw him online. He was just eating his he was eating Erigbe or like I'm
I
like
saw that.
I was like, oh, you saw that, right? I was like, Dr. Shola, why are you like this? So I decided, like, let me call him anyway. I called him, it was on IG. And he was like, Mosi Penesi, this one is another level. You know, it's another level. He's at that, he this stuff you're talking, it's not pastor, it's Dr. Shola, right? He makes that clear, like, he's not trying to be a conventional pastor or anything like that.
Yeah,
I think
that's why it's unique.
Yeah, it's unique, and I think people that have polarized views whenever they attack a topic, they are needed, because una no go pay attention if it doesn't do that. You wouldn't. So after he finishes, we can come back here and dissect it. See where it's okay for me. It's okay. He will probably watch this and he'll be like, "Here, I can adjust, right?" But I don't think he's pretending. I don't think he's acting. I think he's being himself. But I think he's a funny guy and he's being himself. And I think he's not necessarily aware about how offensive some of those things are.
Yeah.
He wasn't even aware that I was seeing African American me's I'm dating. He wasn't aware about that, you know.
No,
but
I mean, to be honest, Allah is good, because I think someone like Timothy is feeling that it's bad because the way we're discussing it, or we're discussing him, is not good, because I once invited him, and to be honest, I like him. I like Pastor Shola, and I'm going to invite him again. But this is you see, when you love someone, you have to tell them the truth. I was personally thinking of maybe reaching out to him privately to talk to him, but I mean, this is constructive feedback. It's not bashing. So I don't think even if he sees, he's gonna be feeling. If he's open-minded, then he will see it and take correction. I saw a video once when his wife was telling him, "I don't want to but you're always yelling, and you yell in church, you yell at home, you yell on YouTube, you yell on Instagram. What is it's too much, you know?" So it's good feedback. It's not. I don't think you should feel that way, Timothy.
Wait. So for me personally, if anybody feels like this has been a bash, I don't think I can convince you otherwise. So we'll talk about that on the back end. But let me go to Adewale. Adewale, you did, yeah?
Yeah. Hi.
Sorry, Adewale. So I'm gonna have to leave.
You're jumping off, Vic. Thank you so much for coming. We'll talk soon.
Bye, thanks for coming.
All right. All right.
Bye.
Go ahead, Adewale. What's up, Adewale? How far now?
I'm fine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly, loud and clear.
I'm fine. How you doing?
I'm fantastic, blessed and highly favored.
How's your family, your wife and kids?
We're doing well.
All this plenty greeting.
Hello,
our virgin.
We're doing well. We're bound.
Okay, I just want to talk a bit about Pastor Shola. I think his situation is a case of being typecasted as an actress. But like, I'm talking in terms of a content creator. So whenever I find a YouTube channel like I'm interested in, I always go through the videos. And every YouTuber has a niche. Like, they have a way of delivering their message. And Pastor Shola's way of delivery is unique. It's like I think he's finding it hard to kind of, like, there's some YouTubers, they will start with something. And then because they went viral because of that thing, it's very hard for them to switch to another thing. So he got viral for being very hard on Nigerian pastors. That's actually how he got viral. Before he started talking about relationships. The first
no. He was talking about relationships. His first viral video, you're right.
Yeah,
was something.
His first viral
Okay, all right. But he was already talking about relationships.
I'm like talking about his first viral videos.
Right. Correct. Yeah.
Like the way he was being hard on those pastors and everything. It's like it's the same deliveries he's using for like when he talks about relationship. And sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's not so good. Because that delivery works for some stories, and for some stories it doesn't work. I mean, there was a day I was watching his video, and I think he was talking about a lady who was going through DV, you know, and then he got to a point where it felt like he was almost
justifying it.
Not justifying, but almost blaming the lady for not seeing.
That's the 40 plus Nigerian not knowing when the offensive thing right there. He doesn't realize it. He doesn't know. I promise you.
He doesn't realize it.
Yeah.
In his mind, he thinks that this
he was trying to help.
Yeah, yes, he thinks like this is effective. This is how I got the audience. This is how I get people to listen to me. Because without his way of delivery, I think his conversations might get boring at times. So this is how he got viral. But I think now maybe if people kind of give him advice and tell him, okay, maybe you should try to do it this way, maybe that would work better. Because he already has the audience. I don't think he needs to maintain his delivery the way it is now. He's like I don't think he's a bad person.
Of course not.
His content is necessary because we need like those kind of people that are bold enough to call things out because we don't have enough of that in our.
Listen, Adewale, I think he's getting more than enough clients. I think those of us that were complaining about his tone, we were not his clients in the first place. You see, this is me on the side of Dr. Shola now. We're not his clients anyway. You see, when we're having this conversation, we're having it for ourselves, right? We're talking about Kerewa and communications and how that's what we're talking about, not about Dr. Shola. He started a conversation. That's what this is about. You understand what I'm saying?
So, Ola, I think people are taking this out of context now, and to be honest, I don't know why. Maybe because I'm a content creator and they are trying to take this personal now, so I'm going to have to jump off. Okay, because I don't know why Take Two is saying, it's the same thing they're saying about you when I try to introduce them to your platform. I feel like I don't know whether you are my subscriber. I saw you for the first time yesterday when we were talking this topic, and I'm talking to Take Two now. I feel like you have something. I don't know if you have something against me, but I don't expect everybody to like me. I'm not on YouTube to be liked, okay? I'm addressing you directly now. If I wanted people to like me, I will not be doing what I'm doing on YouTube. But the people that see the value in what I'm doing, they see it. Okay? And it's not everybody that will like me. I'm not on YouTube. And like Bill said, I am not a professional counselor. Okay? My profession is different. If you can't see the value in what we are talking about and you want to make it personal, then I'm not going to engage you. I'm just going to bounce out. Ola, I'm sorry, but I need to leave.
No, I have to be a Ketolo. You know, I have to give you your flowers before you leave, right? I see your comment here. You posted in the private. You didn't realize it didn't go to the public. This is what she said.
It's always going to the private because because I have StreamYard. So whatever I post always goes to private. I don't know why.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's very important that we address this before you leave because you said I don't insult people. I am against DV and abusers, but I don't expect everyone to like me. If I wanted to be liked, I will be doing travel blogs, and that's on point. And I want Take Two to listen to this carefully. I just made a statement literally just now, right? The people that are going to be that have a problem with what we have to say, they're not going to be here anyway. Listen, Auntie B, I can't lie to you.
I don't understand why people are taking this personal.
Yeah, I can't lie to you.
I just jumped on it because we are talking about Kerewa. Why are you trying to come for me? Because
the subject is Kerewa, not even.
We're going to. Wait. I'm going to say one last thing. I want to take a complete attention off of that because the conversation itself is beautiful by itself. The conversation itself is beautiful, right? I'm going to say this one last thing. I personally invited Dr. Shola for a collaboration as far back as 2018. He was very gracious. He replied me by text. We still have each other's phone number.
I don't think the person knows that. Shola was my platform last year.
No, yes.
Yeah, he was. I listened to it.
So it was only a few months ago. No, wait, Auntie B. So no, we're not. I'm not. Wait, Auntie B. I don't want it to seem like I'm justifying anything. I wanted to make a point, and then we'll move on to the rest of the conversation. Right. The truth is that we texted back and forth, and he said, my ministry is different. We don't do. He might have changed his mind so far, but just like what he said on that particular platform, once I give you an invitation, first time and you, I will respect it. I will leave you alone. If I try to do kerewa with you as a woman, and you say no, I might respect it and leave you alone. Second time, I might just ignore it. It doesn't mean our problems go away, though. This is the part where it was wrong on this platform again. Again, I'm addressing the point. Your problem, because this is your wife, will not go away because you said no, because you're not initiating anymore. The problem still there. It could just expand more and more. It become resentment, right? But in the same token, when I'm not really kerewa in bed with anybody, right, I don't have to extend invitation to them. And also, you need to understand something about YouTube content creation. We react to each other's content.
Exactly.
We do that
exactly
because it's content. It's not personal, right? And let me give you a news flash really quickly. If you come to my platform on a chat, or you find me on a bad day, and you say something smart to me in the chat, I might block you. On a better day, I myself feel free to talk, right? I may still block you later, but I'm just letting you know that this idea that everyone should be able to speak their mind, no, that's not real life. You don't get to speak your mind. Tyranny, dictatorship.
I have my platform, and you invited people.
When you do,
I mean, why are you even bringing that?
Wait, Auntie B.
Why are you bringing?
Wait, Auntie B. When you do have. Wait, Auntie B.
Just ignore her.
Wait, Auntie B. When you do. Wait.
Sorry.
Auntie B. When you do have an opportunity to offer your words or offer your opinion on a platform, this is the last part I will say about this. We'll move on to the rest of the conversation. It is a privilege. It is not your right.
We learn every day.
Well said.
Maybe you said it, Ola, that when I started, I wasn't even on this level. But how do you think I've grown? It's from feedback.
How did I wait long enough to find out that you better? Because I was your guy.
If you cannot handle
simple,
reasons,
no one is perfect.
Ola, you teach me about accountability. You teach me about emotional intelligence. I learn. And that's how you grow.
Too.
I'm not going to come out and say because
take two.
I'm being held accountable. I'm being held accountable.
Hit the link and come up to the studio. We want to see your face.
Exactly. She keeps making comments. You should come onto the platform.
The link is pinned to the top. It's pinned to the top.
Yes, please pin the link.
Feel free.
I don't know what she's making comments and whether it is. Come onto the
Yes,
platform.
we want to show your face. Show your face.
You have to learn. You can't say nobody knows it all.
Yeah. That plus.
You haven't done anything wrong, Auntie B. You haven't done anything wrong. What have you done? Nothing.
No.
There's no need even going that route, Seth and TV. Forget about that person.
I don't see the reason why she's attacking me when
just leave her, please.
She's made
there is
comments
no
and she's
need.
making
You are
comments
not
on this
creating
platform.
content.
One mic.
Looking for content.
Take two.
Hit the link and come. You wait now, Auntie B. Hey,
it's okay.
You don't make this person relevant. The person is not relevant. Let the person
the
hit.
link is
please.
there. If they're bold enough, they should click the link. If they're bold enough. If not, then she doesn't.
Bold enough. Click the link on your cam. Let's see your face. Because real people that speak their mind are people like us who come here. We click the link. We came here. We saw the top.
But I don't last for right. Wait, Auntie B, where did you go now?
Auntie B has gone. No, can you imagine?
Anyway, it's not funny, but at the same time, we try to make that laugh was too long because I wanted it to be long enough so we can relax.
To cool down.
Just cool down. We have a different conversation we're having today. We're talking about Overrated, which was generated by somebody that made a comment on Auntie B's platform, and then I'm not sure if it was the same person. Asexual.
It's the same person.
Oh, okay. I don't like set at all. Cap. Tell me more about that. I'm not saying you're lying, but you will need to tell me a little bit more before you can label yourself or self-diagnose, or like you're not on Men of Pursuit. You're not gonna get away with that. On other platforms, they let you get away with that. If you notice, even in this conversation, we barely talked about seduction, attraction, emotional intelligence, self-awareness. because they're boring topics, but they are precisely the underlying issues with this issue. Somebody said they don't want to Kerewa. After a few weeks, naturally, as a normal human being, you go feel say the person is weaponizing it because that wasn't the duty. That's not what I said when I subscribed to this marriage, right? It's messy, it's all over the place, right? So it just so happened that Dr. Shola started the conversation, and that's why we're having this conversation at this level. Where did everybody go? Okay, everybody's still there here, right? Oh wait, but Patrick is here.
I'm here.
We're here.
Okay, we're here. Okay, it's only Auntie B that dropped off, right?
I think so, yeah.
It's pretty late over there now. Maybe she.
I know.
All these children.
You know, we are in
It's like
different
10 in the
zone.
evening in the UK.
Yeah, it's pretty late.
Yeah. But like I said, we're all growing. This is a matter of growth for us. And if we can rub minds together, there's no way I will create a platform where we can't talk to each other.
Exactly.
It's just one way.
Yeah.
It's just one way,
Yeah. It should be a case where we can have differing opinions, but we agree to disagree.
Yes, absolutely. That's something you have to practice a lot inside of a marriage. Go ahead, Adewale. I'm not sure if you finished your point earlier.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are mistaken the comment section. We're not disagreeing with Pastor Shola's message. We're only giving a feedback on his delivery. That's it. I don't know.
That's it. And Temiti has been holding me accountable for about 5 minutes straight. She said I said last point. Some people shall. Okay. The person said it isn't her opinion, but of others he or she knows.
But she didn't have to bring that comment, and that you didn't have to say that.
No, we're not talking about take two anymore. We're moving forward. Wala. We're talking about wala. This life too long, I beg. I know. Because what is going on? It's not like we snipe us again, no. Oh, who's coming for us to be okay? I stepped away for a few minutes. I love you, but I gotta go. But I have to be hello soon.
Take care, Auntie B.
Go and take a rest. That's understandable. I don't want you to be riled up anyway. It's not worth it. The show today is not a reaction to Auntie B's video. I think it's gaslighting and inappropriate to add art to the conversation. Yeah, completely inappropriate. But we move. Honey Bay, tell me something. I know you have something on your mind that you still want to share with me.
No, to be honest, I'm just listening. If that's
you're just listening. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
What about you, Adewale? Did you finish your point earlier?
Yeah. That was that was my point about.
Okay, all right. So let's do this then. Let's do this since we're still here. B.O. is still here with my brother. All right. So one of the first point that I said to myself earlier in this show, because I know I foresaw this coming. What just happened in the last 5 minutes? So because people, when they follow a person, they follow that person, not the message. Unfortunately, sadly, okay. People tend not to follow the message. That's why I have to drive it in. They will follow me because they like me. They like my delivery. Or it's coming off as pandering to them a little bit. It's making them feel sweet a little bit, and they will stick around. And that's sad because that's not the ultimate goal. But I also understand it as human nature, right? So I told myself in the beginning, it's actually a check point that I have to make here. I said, be nice, Allah. So that because I might overreact to a person who thinks I'm talking about RGB or I'm talking about Dr. Shola. I might overreact to that. And unfortunately, we still smell that, we talked about, first of all, I love Kerewa myself. Okay. We talked about sex enhancement. You too, Abby. But Patrick, you still there here, Abby? You too, sir. You didn't say Umar Rapak himself. Right now. Yeah, okay. All right.
Patrick, they chop something.
What did you say?
No, I know they chop anything.
But Patrick is preparing his tomorrow preaching in church.
Right.
So yeah.
Something similar.
Multitasking.
Okay.
I'm multitasking. I'm on 2 computers and I'm listening to you guys.
So now you can believe that I'm a prophet.
let me collaborate with Auntie B. You know, I work with all kind of people. I work with most middle managers. And when they ask me, Patrick, we have 8 hours at work. Not only him get degree. You know what I mean?
Right.
When they say, Patrick, how do you know this? I would say if you go to Walmart doesn't say diploma, high school diploma. Not to talk of MBA or first degree. You can't see it at Walmart. I would just say because I worked for it.
Yeah.
So that in every sphere of life, you are going to see haters, people that will hate you.
Yeah.
They are part of life, but you have to just ignore them.
Yep, that's just life. It's just what it is. Somebody, I think Adebusala says some people are asexual. They're not attracted to anybody. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. Yes, they do exist. My only issue is self-diagnosis because you had bad sex with 3 people. That's cap. Okay, you need to ask more questions. If you feel like you had bad experiences, at least talk to a professional. Now, there are some people, they just know, right? They also tend not to want to be in a marriage, right? Because they know that's like the inevitable, right? When you enter marriage, especially with a person who is not asexual. And we talked about what Bimpe said earlier when she advised that find other people that are asexual. I said, Bimpe, that advice is half. You have to also give them the WhatsApp group where asexual people hang out. So we talked about that earlier, but shout out to you, Adebusala. I appreciate you. So we talked about sex enhancement. A lot of people are talking about dildo and all this kind of stuff, and they try to use the fix desire. You cannot use that to fix desire and interest. It won't work. In the first place, they don't want to do anything with you, even if internally they want to, but the desire the attraction is missing. One of the gentlemen called in and talked about, you see how I'm calling them gentlemen, I'm being nice. I think some of these men are lame men that didn't know what to do with their marriage, and Dr. Shola happened to be talking about a point that really made them feel sweet, so they called in, okay? And the problem is that Dr. Shola's talking point in that show is still not going to help them. They go back to their problems, sadly, okay? So, again, attraction is when you say, he said, when men and women when they have that attraction, the man will want to. Okay, but you just contradicted yourself. You're right, when a man and a woman have the attraction, but the next statement is saying you're the only one that's been attracted. That's a problem. Are you going to assess that problem? If you're not going to assess that problem, you will collect, right? And Dr. Shola may just be having a topic on a day that is sweet to your stomach, but you will go back to your problems, right? And there's a good chance because you are feeling so sweet that day, you don't feel the need to go and subscribe and sign up for his coaching and counsel so he can tell you the truth. Because I know he will tell you the truth behind the scenes, that you're full of it. But you're feeling too good. What do? You go back home and go and say, in fact, one of them that called in said, it's Dr. Shola that said it now. I'm like, this is how you get in trouble. You take a generalized statement, which is fair on YouTube, you take it back to your personal relationship, you go collect woto. There are 50,000 excuses out there. They are called generalizations, okay? They're not wrong. There's element of truth in it. There's a group of people that aligns with it, right? But when we're talking about relationship, romance, relationship, marriage topics, you have to be careful with these generalizations. We all generalize. Let's be honest. We all do. So if you don't understand that, you will get in a problem. The African American women are better in bed than African women thing. We already talked about that. Okay?
It's a myth.
Baba myth. If anything, you're telling me that you haven't had any experience to encounter those that are terrible at it. If anything, you're only telling on yourself that I've had that one, it was so sweet, I can't forget about it. That's the only thing you're telling me.
Actually, the funny thing is, even the African American men complain that the African American women do not They're not adventurous in bed. That it's the white women that are more adventurous. So
They're accusing their own women and then running to white women.
Exactly.
Or they're running to Brazil. Don't be juju with this.
Life no balance.
Listen, we're adding context. We're not saying Baba is wrong. I think it was wrong. I'm just saying we're adding context to this conversation. If he's in a place where I can invite him, let's have the conversation. No, I respect his time. I don't think he has time for me. If he has time for me, he can text me. That's it. It's very simple. But again, he's a big boy. He can handle himself. Don't worry. I know you want to defend him because people, again, they follow people as opposed to the message. Have you even listened to anything that Dr. Shola has to preach? It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like you're just enjoying the pandering. If all you want to do is jump in the chat and defend him, it doesn't sound like you were listening to his message. African women are taught to be silent about sex. That is very, very true. That, by the grace of God, in Jesus' name, will never be our excuse to suffer inside of marriage again. Okay? You can't afford to use that. What you want to do with that information is be aware. Like, yes, it's true. Now I'm aware. Now I need to learn something. Ladies, you can't use that as an excuse to be close-minded because it's true. Something will give. Omo. Auntie B even came here and said, she said, yeah, it's weaponizing. I was trying to say, no, it's not weaponizing. She said, no, it's weaponizing. Okay, I agree, it's weaponizing. But guess what? If a man interprets it as weaponizing, when you starve a person, what do you expect him to do? Does that sound like justifying cheating to you? No, it's no longer cheating, in my opinion, at that point, especially if it's crossed 3 months. That marriage does not exist. It's a time bomb. It's a matter of time. So I can't even consider that cheating. So it's not justified cheating. It's just telling you the reality. In fact, there's another statement here that will come up later. So that's where the thumbnail came up that, is it food? No, it is not food. It is not food. It's a weapon of mass destruction. Because imagine a household where you build where the man doesn't feel fulfilled or the woman doesn't feel sexually fulfilled. You think you're getting away with that because 5 months, 6 months get away, we're just roommates? No, nobody's getting away with that. You're not getting away with it. The woman is not getting away with it. Guess who else is not getting away with that? Your children. You didn't think about that part. Your children, they're not going to get away with that. There's somebody that's going to be disgruntled in the corner of the house every time. The way they interpret is that there's always this angry man in the house all the time. We call him daddy. We're closer with our mother, right? They will never understand what happened, right? It's just you're missing out a big deal if you don't address this, or if you're using YouTube talking point. Even my YouTube, I say that here all the time. Don't take anything I say here as a gospel truth because I am generalizing. Because I have not assessed your situation, your personal situation. So there's nothing you can only get some insights. You can't generalize what I'm saying because it will hurt you, because that may not be your particular situation. Very, very important. If you don't like sex, don't get married. I think that's a terrible advice because it's not realistic. The people that are talking about this are already married. Well, what are we talking about? Why is that a solution for people that are married? And I think a few people called in and said, what about us that are in it? You don't enter one chance. The truth is that most, if not all, marriages will get into a space where things become people become complacent. People settling into, it's not they want to do that. They just start taking each other for granted. And the sex you used to have when you were doing all over the place, somebody dating all over the place because you were coming and going back home. It's not going to be the same after 3 months of living together or having children or life is happening or you take a move or you moved. Things are going to change. Can we address that part? Where one party start to feel like, damn, I can get some. Or he got rejected twice. He internalized it. He said it's not going to initiate ever again. He said he would never initiate again. He didn't even say it in words. It's just that nobody like rejection. I don't want to be rejected again. I'll just go in the bathroom and do soapy like Dr. Shola said. That's the reality. Can we talk about how do you solve that problem? And I think in 1 or 2 moments, he addressed that, but that wasn't the highlight of the show, right? It's a conversation. It's a very tough conversation. It's an extremely awkward conversation. Because remember, you already feel rejected. Damn, she's gonna think I want some, but I just want to talk about our intimacy. But no, I don't want some right now. But babe, but I like it to be spontaneous. But it needs to be scheduled. But I hate scheduled kerewa. You see, it's a very awkward conversation. It's not gonna be as simple as getting entertained by Dr. Shola for 2 hours on YouTube. You go collect. If you don't get in deep, go and sign up with him for a personal 101. Okay? No, it's not something you can fix with one session. No, it won't. That's why, again, in 2 weeks, our 1 session, 1 hour thing is going away. You have to engage us for 12 months for us to handle you. It's just not worth it because these are habits that were built. You can't change habits overnight by 1 session or 1 counseling session. You just go there and argue. When you get back home, you get back to your problem. You just wasted $150, $250, just like that. But my point in this is that engage if you need help. There's something peculiar about your story, something specific to you, your particular dynamics that you need to address. If you don't address it, it's not going to work out. So if you don't like sex, don't get married. That's not an advice. That's a useless statement at best. It's entertaining. In fact, we don't need Dr. Shola to say it. There are more than enough people with no experience saying all over the internet. Oh, don't just get married. The other time, people that were following Auntie Mildred Okonkwo, Pastor Kingsley, they attacked my wife and I on our platform because she said, if you know you can't respect him, don't get married to him. Like, what kind of statement is that? People lose respect in the middle of it. In reality, everybody will get in a space where they will lose respect for each other. You should be talking about how they can either avoid that, which is almost unlikely, or how they can fix that issue when it does happen, inevitably for most people. But no, you should never get married. So now you have a bunch of single people stuck looking for a person that they can see into the next 100 years they can always respect and want to have kiriwa. It's unrealistic. It's unrealistic. What happens next? They eventually do kiriwa anyway. They have a baby with a person that they really don't feel comfortable getting married. Why don't they feel comfortable getting married to that person? It's not just because they are scared. It's because somebody has sowed seeds of fear in them. Maybe they keep telling them, if you see red flag, run away. So when you're looking for a red flag, guess what you're going to find? Red flag. People forget to live life. People forget this experience, the human experience itself. They forget completely. They just want to generalize everything into an exact science statement. Just avoid people that you know you will not respect. Just avoid people that you know that you're not sexually compatible. Maybe you're not having sex. How would you know if you're sexually compatible? Okay, let's say you're having once a week when you come over. You really want to match that with what's going to happen 3-4 years from now. That's unrealistic expectations at best. So again, outside of entertainment, I don't know what you learned from that. Outside of you are just going to point finger at the other gender. I don't know what you learned from that. I just don't know what you learned from that, honestly. Men will not keep enduring rejection. That is true. Okay? That is true. Okay? Why were people triggered in that session? Why? Because there's a lot of truth in that session. He was spitting a lot of truth fire that obviously a lot of people could relate with in one form or the other. That doesn't mean it solved the problem. That doesn't mean you're going to solve it. Just because somebody is spitting truth fire, stats, data, statistics, facts, doesn't mean they can help you solve your problem. If anything, you're just regurgitating recorded data. That's not necessarily going to be your experience, okay? Okay? So I said that earlier. He did a show today. Somebody said they asked for sex for the first time last night. Congratulations to that person. Shout out to that person. They did it. They jumped in the shower with their husband. The big question is that, are you going to keep doing that? Here's the funny thing about kiriwa inside of marriage. It's something that involves a lot of passionate energy. It's something that starts from it starts from here, right? So how it shows up yesterday is not the way it's going to show up tomorrow. As a matter of fact, if it keeps showing up that way, that's precisely what kills it. That's what kills attraction, literally, right? Again, in these conversations, we're not getting to the seduction attraction part yet. How are we going to get there? We need specific examples. I need to know what happened. Okay, here's how you could have chosen this other route, right? If you're seeing the space where you feel like somebody is victim shaming you, it's better you go and listen to people that will generalize, because they will make you feel better in the moment. They will keep creating content too. So it's okay. We're missing critical thinking. We're missing self-awareness. Okay? If you say it's because you weaponize sex, that's why it's cheating, there's no critical thinking in that. It's a beautiful video topic. And we can talk about it and repeat ourselves for the next 1 hour, and that video will go viral because somebody got triggered or somebody felt way too good than reality. Right? But it's not realistic. There's no critical thinking in that. And you can't blame the content creator for that. That's your responsibility. Whatever you pay for is what you deserve. That's what you're going to get. You're collecting free content on YouTube. It is what it is. I'm sorry. That's the reality. You're going to get what you're going to get because they're addressing a ton of people. So I don't know what you want from a person that's just creating content for pennies on the YouTube. I don't understand. Self-awareness is key. Self-awareness means you're open to the idea that there might be something on my part I can do about this. Right? Emotional intelligence. We didn't talk about sexual. Everybody's talking about sexual compatibility. What the hell is that? What about sexual polarity? Have you ever heard the term sexual polarity before? Everybody wants to talk about sexual compatibility, but not polarity. Polarity means we're literally different in order to create a glue. Everybody wants exact. There was even a guy who said, you want to find somebody who is sexually exactly the same. We're like, what are you talking? This is why one of the 4 major things that destroy relationships is unrealistic expectations. It's completely unrealistic to expect any 2 human beings on this world to be the same thing in any ramification, in any context, in any respect, even if they are twins with the same DNA. Let me borrow Dr. Shala's language. It's stupid at best. It's not reality. What about sexual polarity? What is that thing that you felt? You don't even know why. There's just butterflies in your stomach when you saw that guy. It's not even your type, but something about him, something about the way he talks, right? Oh, thank you so much. Adewale and Onibe, they dropped off. That's what's up. Thank you so much. I was so engaged with this. Brother Patrick, I'm coming back to you, I beg. There's something about this person. There's something they stimulate something in you, right? That makes you, that you can't even explain it, right? But it's definitely not some random, oh yeah, we're just the same thing. We read the same books. We study the same thing. We're both medical. That can happen. But again, that tells you that that's just one aspect of about 50,000 layers to these things, right? So if there are 50,000 things to it, what should we focus on? Hola. What should we focus on? Right? Self-awareness, self-esteem. Build yourself. Become a hot commodity in this marketplace. There's not too many of them. Everybody's generalizing, I promise you. There's not too many people. Okay? There's not too many people that knows what that means. To have healthy level of self-esteem. Like, I'm beautiful. Right? And it's not something you say necessarily. You have to feel it all the way here. Self. Yes, including physically, you need to be able to take care of yourself. You smell good. You're focused on your career. You network. You work on your social intelligence skills. You work on your emotional intelligence skills. Why? Because, bro, I deserve it. Sexual polarity is the concept of dualism between masculine and feminine. Everyone wants to talk about sexual compatibility. They don't know what masculine energy and feminine energy is. When they do use it, they're using it to manipulate the other person. They just want to accuse the other person of not being feminine. She's just masculine. Bro, are you aware that when you call somebody masculine, it's because you're attracting it? Ladies, are you aware that if you attract a feminine guy who is always in his emotion, there's something about you? that just comes off as you don't need a man. Okay, maybe not, but have you done the assessment? Do you even know? You don't know. No! Everybody want to talk about sexual compatibility. Make sure you are sexually compatible, even though we're not doing Kiriwa from the beginning. It's stupid talk at best. It's useless. Could make sense. It's not hardening up. There's nothing you can do other than laugh. Oh, no. There's nothing you can do other than laugh or be offended with that information. There's no shots at Dr. Shala. I'm just saying. He's doing what he does best. He starts off the conversation. I will continue the conversation. And I think it's best that he doesn't come on my platform unless he wants to. Because if he's here, then he will feel the need to explain himself. I don't think he needs to explain himself. I don't think it's necessary. Okay? Everybody's ministry lane is completely different thing. But when you start a conversation and we have the same audience, then we need to keep having the conversation. Like, for example, this is not the end of the conversation today. Okay? Sex toys are good enhancement. They are beautiful. Okay? They're beautiful. Oh my God. Bro, you're overworking yourself if you're stuck in your head. Okay? You're overworking yourself. You're overworking yourself. And you're missing out on even an extended version of enjoyment when it comes to career in the bedroom. If you are frowning at this. If your wife says she don't want, that's fine. If you guys know it's not that's fine. But to be shaming it when you don't know what you're talking about, I think you're hurting yourself. You're one of those people that will wait 20 years before you buy a cell phone when everybody already had their first GSM 1999. Yeah. I think we got three more points here. Sexlessness is not an excuse for cheating. We talked about that. Somebody kept talking about they think sex. Who brought this sex is a sin part into this conversation? I don't understand. I kept hearing that some women think it's a sin. I'm like, is there anybody that's actually saying that? Because if you come to me and we're talking about Kerewa inside of marriage in particular, and you talk about I think it's a sin, I'm gonna say you're right. Like Bingbe said earlier, like the way she will respond to people that say they don't want marriage. I'm gonna say, listen. You think sex is a sin inside of marriage?
Well, you're right.
I don't know what to say after that.
Not be juju be that.
I don't know what you want me to do with it. I'm not arguing with you on that. So I'm not sure how that entered the conversation. It kept coming up that some women think like, if a woman think, why are we having a conversation with them about Kerewa instead of marriage? If a man comes to me and the wife say, and he's accusing his wife of saying it's a sin, I'm like, at that point in time, she thinks it's a sin. We need to go back to the drawing board. What do you guys believe in together? You believe in the same God? What book do you read as a person? And how does this align with the person you're trying to do life with? These are real. That's not something you can fix with dildo. Or trying to shame people into buying dildos. No, you can't do that. It's not going to work. Again, it makes for a good video on YouTube, but not in real life. The only thing you're going to do is scare that person away. Like, what did Temiti say earlier about something about, I'm paraphrasing, about being scared? Right? She has phobia, right? Right? What do you want them, like, that's not the issue. You need to go all the way. Why? Listen, the ultimate issue here is very, very simple. Okay? It's very simple. I'm going to say this one last thing. Then I want to get some last words from Brother Patrick, right? Is sex not a sin? It's not relevant to this topic. Let's not address anybody that's even talking at that point at all. Okay? It's not needed. I don't think there's no need to engage that conversation. That's completely different at all. You know, Kerewa, like anything else, sex like anything else in life, is a double-edged sword. It can be used wrongly by wrong people to create evil. On the other side of it, it can be used by beautiful people to create beautiful lives, create a life that they value, that they enjoy, especially when they're on the same page. On the same page doesn't mean they like this to be tickled in the same part of the body, sexual compatibility, whatever that means. It means the sexual polarity, which starts from here, right? They're in their essence. Somebody's in their masculine essence, somebody's in their feminine essence. When it comes together, people feel safe. People feel safe to express themselves emotionally, and they feel secured in that scenario. People get wet for no reason. They can't wait, right? Because they feel safe in your arms. That part of the conversation. How did you seduce them into that space? It started long before the point of Kaiwa. It's a whole experience. It's how they feel in general around you, right? So even on the days that they're tired, they feel free. They feel safe enough to say, babe, I'm tired today. Let's do it tomorrow. We can do it tomorrow downstairs. They feel safe enough to say that. As opposed to, no, it's duty. It is your responsibility. Listen, once those of you that have been preaching that to your partner, that is duty and responsibility, including those of you that's using to manipulate money out of men's pocket, I need you here to come and tell me how you've used that successfully and how it's worked out for you. Because that's what I'm about, results. Right? Are you getting, how's it working out for you? It's duty. Oh, are they assuming the duty? Because the last time I checked, if there's a war or some kind of warfare or something, and they say there's duty, people assume it because there's value in it. The value could be completely, they want to serve, right? But why are you having a hard time communicating this? I need to talk about why are you having a hard time? Somehow there's attraction, but it's only on your side. Can we address the part that she don't want to do? Let's start with that. Okay, she's just weaponizing. Okay, that's the reason. Before we get to the weaponizing part, can you acknowledge that she no want do first? Okay, she no want do. Okay, the next question is why? Okay, are you patient enough for us to go through the process of assessing why? Maybe your mouth is smelling. Maybe the patati jigon. Maybe down there is smelling. Maybe your husband is running away from you. Yes, those are real conversations. I think that's what Dr. Shola was trying to do. Those are conversations that needs to be had at some point. Okay? I don't care at this point. As long as it starts the conversation, we go continue and after this today, also it's not gonna end the conversation. Okay? But I think generalizations in general, you need to be, this is not Dr. Shola's responsibility. You need to be responsible for yourself when you go around these YouTube channels and you're enjoying too much generalization because you can resonate with it. Are you aware that the only way to fix your issues is still self-awareness, self-reflection, and look inside? Are you aware that all of the solution you're looking for is inside of you? Are you aware that you will never be able to control other people? The only thing you can do is influence them. And how do you do that? The way you move. Listen, they're getting some kind of value by being around you, by being in marriage with you. They're getting some kind of value, right? Are you able to use that value in a healthy way? Not manipulation, not weaponizing it. In a healthy way to create the experience that you both need, that you both like, that you both want. Are you able to do that? Just say no. Then maybe you need some help. If you need help, it's okay. We all need help. We all need help. There's aspects of my life where I need help. Okay? One of them, sometimes I know so many things. Sometimes it's hard for me to streamline in one direction because sometimes you have to stay focused on one course until success in order to create the best impact, not just being all over the place. I tend to be all over the place. I need personal coach for that a lot, and I use them. Right? So, yes, sir. Brother Patrick, thank you so much for hanging around. You still there?
It's been a long day. You've said a lot. And thank God for all the panelists anyway.
Yeah.
It's easier than done. Practical, you know something, easier said than done.
Yes. That is so true.
Like I usually tell them at my work.
So true.
You give the computer instruction. That's what we call giggle. I know Bill knows that garbage in, garbage out.
Yes.
But you communicate with human being. Yes. So we
Yeah.
are not computers. We are not machine.
Can't just snap your finger. It's duty. Let's come to the bed right now.
Yes. You communicate with human being. Yes. You don't use machine language for human being. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
AI, artificial intelligence, we know they are there.
Yes.
Dear Bill knows what I'm talking about. So you communicate with human being, you know, and we are emotional beings.
Yeah.
You know what Olola might take, my wife may not take it.
Yes.
It's not as if my wife is bad. You know what I mean? So the way we are brought up is different. And you know, I wasn't like this before, Ola. Like my wife, the only thing she hates in when you talk to her. But there's a way you can pass a message to her, you know what I mean?
Right.
But when you just say it the way it is, like, no, the thing hurts her a lot.
Yeah.
It's not as if it's not ready to take correction, but you know, there's a way you pass message, and it has to do with upbringing.
She's not able to take correction if there's a mental emotional block.
Yes.
She can't control that.
Yes.
Yeah. She can try to control it. She might even be able to control it, but it's not realistic to expect even us men to be able to control our emotions all the time.
Yes. Emotion are your mates.
And your mates.
Like, you know, my son, he told me that on Valentine's Day, I'm going to talk to a girl. I said, okay, that's good. So I called him. Said, how was it? I texted her. She said, yes. I said, congratulations.
B.
So, Ola, 2 weeks after, I said, Daddy, we broke up.
Very, very, very important example, sir. He felt safe enough to come back to you to give you that.
Yeah, he said,
feedback.
Daddy, we broke up. I said, well, you are learning. I know you are smart.
Yes.
Emotion
You have to trust now.
Emotion not be calculus.
It's not calculus. Oh, because it's duty. 1 + 1 = 2. You're supposed to just show up all the time. Don't be juju be that.
You know, my wife, you know what my wife said? My wife said, well, they don't know what they're doing now.
They don't know, but they have to experience is the best teacher.
Yes.
They have to go through it.
Yes, he came to me, and for me to text him, say, how was this? She said yes. I said, congratulations. So on the Saturday, she was going now. She said, so where are you going? He said, we're going to IHOP to go and do breakfast. So that's what people do. You hang out with your girlfriend. I said,
yeah.
Good luck. So they hang out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
After 2 weeks, they broke up.
Yeah. That's life, sir. That's life. Yeah.
When
you
you get to college, you go understand.
Yeah. and I tell people all the time, if it's emotional matter, emotional blackmailing, emotional issues, you don't need to tussle back and forth with your wife. Let her have that. If it's emotional, like emotional example will be, I'm right, you're wrong. No, but you're wrong about that, but you're wrong. I'm right. Or like, okay, babe, we'll see. I mean, I disagree, but and you just shut up like that and just keep quiet. Even in that moment, the ability to be able to let go of that argument in that moment, you gain extra respect. Like that. It's invisible, you can't see, but you gain extra respect. Like, especially if she's not used to you doing that. If she's used to, we die here. This argument. If she's used to that and you try that, you just gain an extra little respect like that. Letting go. If it's safety, security, as in like physically, she can smash her head. They're like, babe, no, I can't let you do that. No. Right? She will still respect you for that. If you don't know the difference between this, and you're just like, no, you just put your foot down. Don't let her get away with any kind of argument. That's what you want to do. Obiri go show you now. Obiri. They will show you now. So is Ola soft? No, I think you're softer. I think the only power you have is your mouth. And that's sad. You know. So yes, sir. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you to everybody that came on. Yes, sir.
Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Right.
All right. All right. So here's what we're doing now, henceforth. Shout out to D Love. I didn't see D Love today. I know she's very particular about me keeping a schedule. Chie, I saw Chie very briefly too. Point of contention, Chie is like, yeah, Pastor Shola is balanced. It depends. It depends on what we're talking about. There's a lot of there's part of this that needed some kind of context. The one important thing to make sure of is that number one, he expressed to me as far back as years ago. Okay, we've connected online for a while, for 5-6 years, and he's always made it known he doesn't collaborate. If you notice, he doesn't go on other people's platform. I think the first and last I've ever seen him on is TB's. So I have to kind of respect that. Also, it wasn't necessary. I don't want him to feel the need to defend himself, because that's not what this is about. Because I know that he has good intentions. I know he has natural talent. He's a very, very funny guy. We all enjoy him in that light. And people like them, they speak blunt truth that start off very, very hard conversations to have. And then we can take it from there and then start breaking it down. And those that don't know how to listen to the message will start taking an offense on his behalf. And, but it's natural too, because I think as human beings, we do that anyway, because we are social beings. We connect with ourselves. So once you like a person, you like them, and you don't want want to offend them, right? But, in my personal opinion, I don't think this was offensive in any way at all. It was about understanding how content creation works, understanding the limitations of YouTube. There's only so much that anybody is going to help you with a 1.5 hour session. But my goal here is to break very complex things like that down to pieces. It's boring, but it's needed. That's, and I appreciate every one of you that keeps coming back here for it, because clearly you like it, So I appreciate you. I appreciate Auntie B for coming on, for talking to us. What I try to do is, everything seems negative going on, I try not to put too much light on it. It's part of the skill set that comes with the emotional intelligence. What you focus on tends to expand. Okay? If it's negative, it expands into more negative. If it's positive, it expands into more positive. It's a lot more easier to focus on negative things, or things that comes off as negative, even if that's not the intentions of the person perpetuating it. Things will come off as negative, but when you focus on it, it becomes more negative. And that was why you saw the platform burst into a long laughter earlier, so that we don't put too much attention on that. That wasn't meant as a disrespect to anybody, and I didn't mean to do that. But we have to kind of keep things in structure. But particularly, what I want to do with this topic is not done. I had like about 50 other things attached to it. Okay, but we have other topics to cover tomorrow on Sundays, on Prestige Sundays Live. What I want to do is, that's law of attraction. Shout out to K. Absolutely. That's law of attraction. It's part of your skills when it comes to emotional intelligence. You need to know how that works. You look around you, you see it, it's just the way it is, What I want to do is, I will continue to do Sunday's Prestige Live consistently, in which case I will bring 6 or 7 topics, trendy topics of the week, and dissect it really quickly. It might not necessarily be a call-in show. So I want to keep that way. I'll drop link always, so you can, because it's always better and sweeter. Look at today, to engage conversations with my people, right? But we'll have topics, and we'll be a little bit more structured on Sundays, Prestige Sundays Live. But however, like today, I might just show up because there's a hot topic. Okay, and no, that's not going to be on schedule. The only schedule I'm looking at is the time on my studio analytics that it tells me when you typically comes here. That's in agreement with my personal schedule. Those are the only things that I will be looking at, So let's continue to work together. I want to appreciate all the super chats that came in today. I appreciate you all. Shout out to Brother Patrick, who opened the doors with that $10 donation. Thank you so much, sir. And to be, of course, always supporting. Abby, shout out to you. She gave me 99p. I don't know what that is, but it looks good. It looks like $99. I'm okay with it. And then shout out to, I think it was Jenny J. And these are the people that financially supported this platform today. Shout out to everybody that's ever financially supported this platform. I appreciate you so much. Temities, Chinye, D Love, so many people, you know. But I want to continue to encourage you. Okay, if you're still listening to me right now, there's 36 people listening to me. We're up to about 60 at our peak today. I want to encourage you, when you're coming to Men of Proceed, you know I don't come here to play. When you're coming, anytime I set up these live shows, I am asking you, okay? I'm asking. I'm not, it's not, you're not obligated to it, no obligation whatsoever. I'm asking you to budget $5 to super chat. Okay, here's why. Okay, not only are you helping me, which is a big deal, that's a big deal. You're helping the platform, a big deal, right? Because again, we're talking about sex, career, all this type of thing. They tend to trigger the AI to shut off the monetization. It makes it limited monetization. So this is your way of supporting us. The other side of things is that it inspires the rest of the other 60 people that come in and out like that. It inspires them because sometimes they just don't remember. Sometimes they're just flying by. Sometimes it's not, you know, it inspires every other people too. So if you're here listening to me right now, 36 people, I consider you inner circle. Okay, I consider everybody inner circle. But I'm just saying, we want to improve the way we support our best what do you call it, content creators. If you value it, let's get into the habit of supporting financially. Okay, let's just get in the habit. Just drop by, because again, $5 can drop in your pocket. It's valuable to me. $10 like that, right? It's extremely valuable, right? To obviously to also continue to propagate that message. And I can't lie, it feels good. What do you want me to tell you? It feels good to see it. Okay, we don't see that money until what, 2 months later, 1 month later, or something like that, until YouTube disperses it after they take their 30%. It's not about that. It inspires, continue to do more, other people see it, and it help us spread the message, so we can keep having this conversation. If you've noticed, I mean, we have my competitions, we have the Daddy Freeze. These are sensational stuff, you know. Just talk about hot, trendy topic and all that kind of stuff. Some of them talk about relationship, but nobody gets to the point where they talk about, wait, without bringing victim shaming into this, what about seduction, attraction, emotional intelligence? These are my lane. These are the lane that I'm learning from. I want to continue to share what I'm learning with you, right? Still related to all of these different topics, right? So that's what we're doing. Also, last announcement before I shut it down for the day. Shout out to all 31 people listening to me right now. So we're creating a new masterclass. My wife and I created a new masterclass. It's free. It's completely free. I think anybody that's engaged in dating, relationship, and marriage need to attend it. Okay, it's pure content, pure 30 minutes content. Yes, it's a class. It's a short one, you know, but it's also designed to introduce people into our program. But the masterclass is more important, and there's 5 simple concepts that I think people struggle with, that we've spent some time to really break it down in a concise, short, very simple way that I feel like you should look out for. It's called Love and Life. Okay, it's called Love and Life Masterclass. So look out for that. We'll be taking away our 1-hour coaching session. I'm sorry. Okay, people buy it, and a certain segment of the people buying it expect overnight success, and that's not good. There's no overnight success. There are habits, especially on 2 people's part, that have created the experience you're having. So, and usually you will start the dance in the new direction. It's going to take a little bit more than you know, to be able to influence your partner into the direction you're looking to go. It's going to take a little bit more than just one session of anything. Okay, so we created a new program that will release in the next month or so, that will engage our clients for straight 12 months. Yes, 1 year. If you don't think 1 year is worth it, try the divorce court. All right, if you don't think it's worth it, try the divorce court. So or try child support courts, or having to look over your shoulder. You're never sure if they're cheating on you. You're a detective in your own house. your detective rather, your FBI in your own house. Imagine that kind of life, you know. Yeah, so deep gone. So to round this off, Adipsa said we should be able to agree to disagree without reservations. Is human nature. I know, but sometimes I don't feel like agreeing to disagree, especially if I'm not really in the bed with you. Sometimes I just want to cast. I'm just kidding. But you're right. Ultimately, we should be able to do that. But just don't set it as expectation on other people, because sometimes you're just in a space you don't have the tolerance for that. All right. So it's a two-way street. Whatever that is, a double-edged sword, right? But I agree 100%. Shout out to E Samore, says hi everyone. This is cheers, Ola. On that note, thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming by. We will continue this conversation. I have a lot more to talk about Kero. I'll be bringing it. Okay, I'll be bringing them, and I won't be interrupting you with trendy topics or anything. Like, we'll talk like today, and I'll allow people to come on and talk like this. So we need to do more of that. All right. Hopefully, you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.